Welcome, everyone, to the Shut Your Mouth Lounge, episode number 48. So, Addy, it seems, has either dropped dead or just totally been kidnapped, so I'm afraid he won't be present, at least for a good chunk of the podcast. We were made aware that he would be busy today, but who knows? But, hey, it's me, I'm Alex, I'm here, and we got the Pink Man.
Hi there.
Yo. And we got a shit ton of topics.
Exciting stuff.
Right. So let's get right to it. So they finally revealed the game lineup for the PlayStation Classic. And I gotta say, there's actually, if I tried to think of a mainline console with a surprisingly weak lineup, it would probably be the PlayStation 1.
Right.
But there's actually some real winners here.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Oh, did you not actually see the lineup?
I was watching the video and then I got really sick and tired of the music, so I just turned it off.
Okay. So,
I don't think I would have had much to add anyway because I had maybe like 3 whole games on the PlayStation 1 back when I was like 4 years old.
yeah, for my
And yeah, I wouldn't have much memory of any PS1 game because I basically missed out on that era entirely.
Yeah, for my part, I did too, but that's largely just because I was too young. But what I would say there is, it interests me more than I wanted it to, largely because it features a lot of entries into franchises that I'm a fan of their later entries.
Yeah, right.
Cause I love Twisted Metal. I grew up on Twisted Metal Black, and they got the first Twisted Metal on there. I love Tekken. They've got Tekken 3 on there. You know. And there's a couple others, like the original Grand Theft Auto, which is a shocking choice, considering how much the original 2 Grand Theft Autos are pretty much ignored. Which, thank God we don't have Mike on the podcast, or else he'd be going off on a big rant about how amazing the first 2 Grand Theft Autos are.
If we can get him on for the special 50th episode, maybe he'll do just that.
Yeah. Hey, Mike, we've got a designated 10 minutes for you to just rant off about the first 2 Grand Theft Autos. And then Mike's like, oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. I'll send you $50.
Finally, the platform he has been seeking.
And of course, there's a couple other big ones like Final Fantasy VII, which, duh.
Right. It's like probably the most notable one on there. Like that's the one that everybody knows and loves from the PS1 days.
Yeah, I'm looking up the list as we're speaking, but Final Fantasy VII, the amusing part is this thing's. Did you what experience do you have with the other classic console releases?
None.
That is understandable. But do they come with actual discs or cartridges, or are they just all loaded onto the console?
I'm pretty sure the thing said it was all preloaded onto the console, so no discs are.
That's actually pretty funny then, because wasn't Final Fantasy VII, didn't it release on 4 discs or something?
Probably.
But we got some crazy ones here. We got the original Resident Evil Director's Cut, which me and Addy played through the Resident Evil remake for October for the Halloween one-offs. And throughout that entire thing, we're like, man, we wish that they included the old voice acting. It's so bad, it's amazing. We got Siphon Filter, the original Siphon Filter. That's a franchise that died off after the PS2.
I've never heard of Siphon Filter.
It's kind of like, it's considered one of the classic iconic stealth games alongside Metal Gear and, what's the Tom Clancy one?
Ghost Recon?
Ghost Recon,
no.
Right. Is it? No, you're right. It's... Okay, I've got one of those games. I've got one of the games over, Splinter Cell.
Yes, that's it.
Fuck me. As you can
I
probably
said Ghost Recon, and it's like, no, that can't possibly be right. That sounds way too modern.
Yeah. As the audience can probably guess, neither you nor me are particularly big Splinter Cell fans.
Right.
I've always been a Metal Gear guy. Speaking of Metal Gear Solid. That's a fucking winner. the original Persona, which I guarantee you almost nobody in the States have played. Kind of in the same category of Grand Theft Auto, where it largely is there because the later entries were far more popular, but it still could be interesting to see more people get exposed to the originals.
Right. Because I've never even heard of Persona until like Persona 4 or 5, whatever the one that you guys played was.
Persona 4 was fairly big news 10 years ago. But we also got the original Rayman, which I forgot that the original Rayman games were 2D platformers. I forgot about that. I always thought of them as 3D platformers.
Yeah. I had remembered that. I just didn't remember that it actually came out on the PlayStation 1. I thought it was a little later than that, but I was quite certainly wrong.
Yeah, I thought they were on PC. I was way off. Oh, you know, it seems like this would not be complete without a Street Fighter game, right?
Right.
And there were some real Street Fighter winners on the PS1. I think Alpha was on PS1, so they should have thrown that in. No. Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo.
Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo. Perfect. I remember that game. What is that?
It's just Tetris, but with Street Fighter characters. It's Tetris
Incredible.
versus, and you're watching Street Fighter characters fight at the bottom. Did you ever play Mortal Kombat Deception?
No.
Did you see their awful puzzle fighter mode where it's just Tetris and two dudes fighting at the bottom?
I did not.
Yeah, same thing. Exact same thing.
It's hilarious.
Oddworld, which I got to play the remaster of Oddworld Abe's Odyssey a couple of years back. I wasn't too fond of it. A lot of the games on here are actually kind of funny because now a lot of them have like HD remasters or are going to have HD remasters.
That makes this thing redundant.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing. Resident Evil had the HD remaster, which then got released on the modern day consoles. Metal Gear Solid has the Twin Snakes, which updated it to GameCube level graphics. Final Fantasy VII is going to have an HD remake soon. Oddworld Abe's Odyssey. Even fucking Rayman, the modern Rayman games like, oh, help me here. What's the name of the last two Rayman games that came out?
Rayman Origins?
Yes.
And I failed to recall what the other one was.
Yeah, those are much more clearly identical to the original Rayman games, but way better.
Right, right.
Like, I mean, there are ones that haven't been remastered on here. Obviously, the original Grand Theft Auto is never going to get remastered.
There's no way to do that.
It's highly unlikely we'll see a remaster of the original Persona or Tekken 3. Oh, and there's the original Rainbow Six. How about that?
Oh, yeah.
Before we could pick characters, when it was just shoot the guy. That was before Rainbow Six Vegas made it big.
Yeah.
Overall, I would say, yeah, it's a good lineup of games. Far better than the original PlayStation had any right to.
Yeah.
But the big inevitable issue is a lot of those games are JRPGs, which obviously is a niche interest for a lot of people. But the other issue is that a lot of those games have now been released better versions of the exact same game.
Right.
So it's kind of
just saying that because with all these HD remasters and whatnot, it's like, why would you go out and get this PS1 classic thing when you'll probably have just that one singular game that you're looking forward to that's coming out in HD form now.
And the thing is, a lot of those games that got remade with new, better features too. There is an entire like middle stretch of the game that is added to Resident Evil in the remake. The original Metal Gear Solid on PS1 did not have the signature Metal Gear Solid choice between lethal and non-lethal. Snake was only lethal in that game. He could only kill people. And the remake, Twin Snakes, added the ability to play non-lethally if you wanted to. So, yeah, they should, I don't know. Far be it for me to pitch what Konami should do. Far be it for me to pitch the idea that Konami just make video games instead of pachinko machines. But perhaps they should look into re-releasing Twin Snakes on the modern consoles. Just saying. Because, I mean, I'm not going to go buy a fucking GameCube so I can play Twin Snakes.
Right.
Yeah. It's definitely a weird idea. Because, I mean...
Yeah.
Nintendo released the NES, but What I've always thought there is, can't you just buy all the NES and SNES games on your modern Nintendo consoles? Don't they
You
just
can.
don't they just sell all of the old Nintendo games through the like? Can't you even buy N64 games on your Switch?
I'm pretty sure you can.
I wanted to say that there
They
was
have that like digital store and whatnot where you can basically buy their entire previous catalogs.
yeah, which is a sweet ass idea and is thing that a thing that should totally be supported.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think the PS3 had a shit ton of PS2 and PS1 games on it, didn't it?
I don't know. I don't think I ever did anything backward compatibility wise with my PS3.
I think they sold a lot of them digitally in the same way Nintendo did, which is a
Ah.
large part of the reason why they discontinued the original
Oh
PS.
yeah, yeah. I know they did do that because I did see like that old Marvel superheroes game that I played way back when I was a child that had got a re-release on the PS3 back in like 2011. So yeah, they did definitely have backwards compatibility stuff released for purchase on their PS3s.
Yeah, and I think there was that whole conspiracy thing that they discontinued the original PS3 model, which was backwards compatible with PS2 games, specifically so that they could resell PS2 games to you again.
Oh yeah. Probably exactly what went down.
Which, I mean, admittedly does make a ton of sense from financials, because PS2 probably has one of the all time best lineups for video games.
Right.
Ah. So, a little bit of movie news. You watched Mad Max Fury Road, right?
I did.
So did I. Pretty fucking good movie, right?
Yes, I really enjoyed it.
Are you particularly excited for the sequels?
Uh, Hesitantly so, because most prequels never live up to the hype, but I'd probably go out of my way to see a sequel to one if it were to come out because I enjoyed Fury Road so friggin' much.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same spot where it's like, yeah, I'd love to see Fury Road, something up the ante from Fury Road, but it's gonna be near impossible too.
Right.
Like Fury Road is one of the best fucking movies of the decade.
Mm-hmm.
But
Like how do you go from Fury Road to do and go on to do something better? I don't know if it's possible, but I'd certainly be along for the ride.
yeah, and I mean, admittedly, I do trust George Miller a lot. Because, I mean, George Miller's one of the few cases where this guy has run this franchise for 40 years and it's still the same dude.
Yeah.
Like, the concept for Fury Road, part of me wonders if it was so good because George Miller had been cooking it up for like 20 or 30 years. Like, there's a lot of time to figure out what works and what doesn't in 20 or 30 years.
Right.
Refine it down to a damn good script. But apparently, the other Mad Max sequels are going to spend a bit more time in the oven, because George Miller is putting them aside and putting them on a hiatus, evidently with no announced intentions of when he's going to continue working on them, so he can instead direct a movie 3,000 Years of Longing, which I don't know what it is.
Sounds like the wait for the next Mad Max movies.
Kind of. We're gonna have to give George Miller the fucking immortality pill just so we can see the Mad Max sequels. We'll find another new Mad Max actor. Tom Hardy's gonna get replaced. It's gonna be a James Bond situation where every generation has a different Mad Max.
Right.
He's gonna be the Australian James Bond. That'd be hilariously stereotypical. If the British get James Bond, Mr. Refined secret agent who's cunning and all that, and the Australians
Right.
get fucking Mad Max, badass to the waist. That's a little bit stereotypical, isn't it?
Just a little bit.
Yeah. So I'll look on the bright side here and say that hopefully this means the sequels get to spend more time in the oven and aren't rushed straight to release.
Right.
Which is surprising that the production companies aren't asking him to do that, because generally they do want to strike while the iron is hot. And the iron was pretty hot after Fury Road.
Yeah.
So, yeah. A little bit of comic book news. We should probably go ahead and get this out of the way right now since Addie isn't here, you know?
Right.
So, hey, you heard about that Loki Scarlet Witch thing that Disney was thinking they'd give them their own TV show, right?
Right. We had previously talked about that.
Yeah, now they're doing it again they're pitching it again for Falcon and Winter Soldier, according to Variety.
And I like this duo far better than Loki and Scarlet Witch, to be completely honest. I think if a movie or TV show or whatever it is that they're doing with this streaming service, if it happens, I think this is a star duo that you'd want to kick it off with. As good as not what is Loki's name? Tom Hiddleston.
Yes.
I was about to say Tom Hardy, and I was like, that's not it. That's somebody else entirely. So, as good as Tom Hiddleston is, and Scarlet Witch might be, I don't know, I haven't seen her in much of anything else. I think that Falcon and Winter Soldier just have more chemistry on screen, and I think they'd be the real star players of whatever they're doing with this streaming service.
Well, the thing is that we haven't even seen Loki and Scarlet Witch interact on screen.
Right, that is true.
But yeah, there is definitely more of an definite idea here, because if this will definitely be coming out after Infinity War Part 2, and the thing is, we all know Cap's super fucking dead.
Yeah.
So if they wanted to base a series around, well, they could have based it around just Falcon and Winter Soldier, what they're trying to do after Cap's dead, and they try and find their way through life. At the same time, imagine if they did it as the fucking Death of Captain America storyline, where there's the people duking it out over who gets to be the new Cap.
Right. That's what I was thinking as well.
The only issue I'd have is they don't have Punisher there to be the evil Cap.
Right.
It would be fucking sweet though especially if they can somehow get those licenses away from Netflix.
Right.
So
can we borrow John Bernthal just for a little bit? We'll give him right back. We promise.
Well, I mean, evidently they're torching all their Netflix stuff anyways, so why not? I'd absolutely love to see Falcon, Winter Soldier, and Punisher all in one series. I'd love to see the movies and TV shows actually be bound together in some way, you know?
Right.
Because so far they are way too fucking separate.
Mm-hmm.
It would also be funny to think that Falcon and Winter Soldier both fought Thanos, and now they're having to deal with a fucking dude with a shotgun and a skull shirt, and he's a problem.
Just some random Joe off the street.
He's very angry, too angry to die. That's his superpower.
Precisely.
I think this does make sense, though, that these are two actors, who by all means are now big stars because of portraying these characters. Particularly, who's the name of the actor that plays Winter Soldier?
Sebastian Stan.
Sebastian Stan would not be anything if he hadn't portrayed Winter Soldier. That was his star-making role. Easily.
Right.
And
absolutely.
So both of these guys, I think, are in a position where they're big enough stars to headline the series, and it'd be a big thing of, oh my god, they got guys from the movies to be in the TV shows, but at the same time, they're cheap enough that it wouldn't be too problematic for Disney to pay for them.
Right.
Whereas obviously paying for...
They're not the A-listers, but they're still pretty high up on the list.
Yeah. And of course, people nowadays love Bucky, and I don't think they want Bucky to end as a character with Cap, so they gotta find something for Bucky to do. I was figuring Bucky would get switched over to T'Challa's supporting cast, but who knows with this.
Yeah. I don't think Bucky will stick around with T'Challa, because I think he has a big enough supporting cast already. I mean, his movie, T'Challa himself was having trouble finding screen time in that cast, so...
T'Challa already has one white friend. Why would he ever need two?
That's just a little too much. You gotta have a little bit of variety, you know?
It's like the reverse of that Chris Rock joke, right? And the other bit of comic book news, where is it? So, hey, are you excited for Birds of Prey?
Maybe.
Maybe. I would have put that down as more or less a no. Apparently,
I have more hope for Birds of Prey than I do with any other mainline series outside of Wonder Woman.
Right, because Harley Quinn... Margot Robbie. I called her Harley Quinn. I mean, I'm not wrong, but But yeah, Margot Robbie probably has enough production swing that she can keep, Christopher Nolan off her back.
Right.
Nolan and Snyder. But apparently the director of Birds of Prey is saying that it's going to be rated R, which is important because Venom's director also said it was going to be rated R. Guess what? Wasn't rated R. And some people...
Go ahead.
I just want to say some people are all like, "Oh, the movie needs to be rated R." I don't get it. I don't get why it needs to be rated R.
It doesn't need to be rated R.
Because
historically, I don't think any movie needs to be rated R.
No, there are some movies that need to be rated R. Like, good luck making a fucking movie about, I don't know, Jeffrey Dahmer without rating it R, right?
Oh, I suppose there are some exceptions.
Like, oh yeah, let's make a PG Punisher movie. But, so, I don't see... There are some superheroes that I can see working with an R rating. Wolverine obviously could work with an R rating. We can see on the Netflix shows, Punisher works with an R rating. Jessica Jones works with an R rating because there's too much sex and alcohol. But Birds of Prey, no. I mean, Harley and Huntress both kill people. I'm willing to accept, but does not necessarily equate R rating unless they kill people in particularly brutal ways. And they both just shoot people, which is perfectly PG-13.
Yeah.
Huntress doesn't even use guns. She uses crossbows. Like, that's even more PG. Like, that's like in the old G.I. Joe cartoons when the dudes would have guns that shoot lasers, right?
Right.
So, this feels like a thing that they're just saying it now to get the hardcore nerds, the 90s losers that still think superheroes need to be mature. Like, that's the way of maturity. It feels like they're doing that, and once it actually comes out, it's going to be PG-13, easily.
Probably.
Because they need to get the little girls that love Harley.
Right. Assuming Harley's even in this movie.
Well, Margot Robbie's going to...
We're assuming that she is, but, they could swerve us.
Well, she's producing it, and she's Harley, and I feel like they're gonna throw her in there for the star power of Harley, because I don't think Black Canary, Huntress, and fucking Cassandra Cain are going to be able to sell this movie alone.
Right.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I like those characters, but none of them are particularly iconic.
Right.
Canary's been on the cusp before, but she's never crossed over.
Right. It's like, this could be her big break. They just need that extra star power to get them over. And Harley's already made a big enough name for herself outside the mainstream media. And, she's already had a bit of moderate success with Suicide Squad, so, why not?
And Harley kind of needs a vehicle, since evidently Suicide Squad is iffy right now.
They just got James Gunn.
Yeah.
It's back on.
It's back on, but there's...
But it'll be coming out in 2024.
Oh, God. Yeah, 2024. That's a long fucking time. But what was I going to say? All right. They were definitely at one point suggesting the idea of Harley getting her own solo movie, but evidently that kind of went nowheres. So I guess this is probably the Harley project. That's just what I think.
Right.
I mean, by all means, Margot Robbie could just be interested in producing this. I just don't think she is.
Yeah.
There is an ulterior motive.
There has to be.
Yeah. So, the other bit of news related...
Is this the first movie that she'll have been producing, or has she produced others as well?
Apparently she's a pretty big producer, actually.
I was not aware.
I think she produced the movie about, I watched it just like a couple months ago, damn it. Where she plays the ice skate. No, oh, God. Oh, my brain's fucking up. I watched that movie and I really liked it, and I can't remember the names of any of the people involved, and they're real people, which makes it more embarrassing. Oh no. Whatever. She produced the movie that she got nominated for an Oscar for.
All right.
Tasha? What was her name? Tasha or something? Oh, fuck it. Fuck it, whatever. Hey, there's another bit of news about Birds of Prey. Apparently Ewan McGregor is going to be playing Black Mask, the villain.
I like Ewan McGregor.
I like Ewan McGregor. I don't like the implications of this casting, though. Because Do you know why he's getting almost 100% the reason why he got cast as Black Mask? Do you want to know it?
What is it?
So Ewan McGregor had been married to his original wife for like, I don't know, 17, 20 years. Until he was cast for Fargo Season 3, where his character's love interest was Mary Elizabeth Winstead. And yeah, it turns out Ewan McGregor and Mary Elizabeth Winstead got together while filming, and he divorced his wife. And now Mary Elizabeth Winstead first got cast as Huntress, and now conveniently Ewan McGregor gets cast as Black Mask.
Oh yeah, I knew I recognized that name.
Yeah. I mean, I know it's Hollywood, and relationships mean nothing in Hollywood, but that doesn't mean I gotta be happy about it.
Right.
And I think the movie's going to be tainted to some degree for anyone that knows about that backstage politics. Like, Ewan, the only reason you're playing this goddamn comic villain is because you wanted to be there to fuck your girlfriend. Who's like 10 or 20 years your junior because you left your fucking wife. You fucking piece of shit. That was a depressing note. Whatever, Ewan McGregor is a good actor.
Right.
I loved him in Star Wars. I loved him in Trainspotting. Haven't really watched anything else of his because he's one of those guys that more or less just stopped after he made his money.
Right. Wasn't he just in that Winnie the Pooh movie?
He was. The Xi Jinping movie.
Yeah.
Christopher
Kenobi.
Talk about your kid-friendliness for Disney. Like I've said before, I am interested in the possibility of them going with Black Mask and just going full bore on it.
Right.
Because Black Mask at his best is screaming lunatic, just ranting and going fucking apeshit all the time. And not in like a Joker kind of crazy, more like a, what's a good example of that kind of character? Basically any J.K. Simmons character. Like, J.K. Simmons' Black Mask would actually work perfectly.
Isn't J.K. Simmons already, like, Gordon now, though?
He is. I don't know why.
It's an excellent question.
Like, J.K. Simmons is a wonderful actor and would be a great casting in just about any role, but I have a strong feeling that Gordon would not be one that, like, Gordon's one that a lot of actors could play. If you hire J.K. Simmons, you want to get something more complicated than Gordon.
Right.
I'll complain about DC all the live long day. And it's a loving
They make it too easy.
It's a loving complaint. I do prefer DC over Marvel. It's a loving complaint. Because it makes me fucking angry to see that Marvel is so successful and does it so right in so many categories, and then DC fucks it all up.
It's like they're trying, but they have no idea what they're trying to do.
Some of the stuff I don't think they're trying. And one last bit of comic book movie news for today's podcast. So apparently, this is just a report. Netflix has not officially released the numbers, so it's very well possible this is just completely false, but apparently there's some reports and rumors that Luke Cage and Iron Fist on Netflix lost 2/3 of their viewers between the first and second seasons.
Ouch. That hurts.
Yeah. I misread that as one. At first, I misread that as 1/3, and I was like, "Ooh, that's pretty bad." And then I looked again, 2/3. Oh,
that's even worse.
That's more than half. Like, holy shit! Trying to figure it out. Like with Iron Fist, it's fairly easy to figure it out. It got a lot of bad publicity. People tuned in to see if it was worth it, and like, it had it definitely had a minority of vocal fans. But there was a lot of people that came out of it like, oh my god, Finn Jones is the most boring actor on the earth. What the fuck is this corporate boardroom thing? I wanted a kung fu show.
They'll stopped watching him and watched Kung Fu Panda instead.
Kung Fu Panda is better for kung fu shit.
It absolutely is.
Kung Fu Panda 2
That's what's really comedic here.
Kung Fu Panda 2 has actually got really good fight scenes. I never watched 3, but I mean, yeah. That was a fucking weird franchise to see, because Kung Fu Panda 1 was about as generic a fucking kids CG movie as it could get, and then Kung Fu Panda 2 was really fucking good.
Right.
But Luke Cage, oh my god, holy shit. I knew people didn't like Diamondback, but was it really that bad? I watched it and I didn't mind Diamondback that bad, but holy shit, apparently everybody else did.
Which one's Diamondback?
Okay, so you didn't watch Luke Cage season 1, did you?
I watched parts of it.
Okay, you remember Cottonmouth?
Yeah.
Everybody loved Cottonmouth. He was a great villain.
Yeah.
He dies in episode 6.
Right, I saw that happen.
Yeah, he gets replaced by the new villain, Diamondback, who is Luke Cage's bastard half-brother. That Luke Cage's father is a reverend, and he had Diamondback with his secretary. And he's a bastard child, never acknowledged, and was pretty much an orphan because his mom died very early. And he resents Luke Cage for being the Reverend's recognized child, right?
Okay.
And Diamondback is supposed to be one of the big arms dealers of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. You know how, what was the villain of Iron Man 2 that wasn't Mickey Rourke? Hammer?
Yeah, Justin Hammer.
Right, so after he went to prison, apparently Diamondback picked up all of his shit. And one of the things that was picked up were the Judas bullets that Justin Hammer developed, which apparently were basically just explosive bullets. And apparently, explosive bullets are enough to kill Luke Cage. So that was the big threat throughout most of the season, was, oh no, Diamondback has bullets that it can actually harm Luke Cage. By the end of the season, they just kind of threw that aside and were like, fuck it. Diamondback picked up a discount Iron Man suit. And do you want... It was the worst shit ever. I don't know if you've ever seen the picture of Diamondback in his shitty Iron Man knockoff suit.
I haven't. I'm Googling that right now.
So, it's so bad that one of the other characters in the show makes fun of it and says he looks like a pimp stormtrooper.
He said that right as soon as Google Images opened up.
Yeah, he looks like a pimp stormtrooper, don't he?
He does. That looks terrible.
It's hideous. Like, hilariously so. But I mostly felt Diamondback was an alright character, at least partially because he's hammy as fuck. Like, Cottonmouth was very, he had some hammy moments, like tossing a dude off the top of a fucking building. And of course, having the balls to just have a big portrait of Biggie Smalls in your fucking office.
Right.
But Diamondback was way less subtle. He was, throughout the entire thing, he's your crazy over-the-top villain. He was like, he's pulling out the Bible and quoting Bible verses. Like, that was half of his lines were just quoting arbitrary Bible verses. That kind of villain where he's like, and so the Lord said, I should kick your ass. And that's the character.
Yep.
And a lot of people thought, oh, this is goofy, this is stupid, this is so much worse than Cottonmouth. And I guess that's understandable, but for my part, I was fucking loving it. I was eating up every second of it. So. There is just one of the worst fucking scenes, though, with him, though, is he puts on these gauntlets that can imitate Luke Cage's strength. He just walks up to a cop while wearing a hoodie, punches the cop in the chest, which causes the cop's chest cavity to collapse and kill him. And then Diamondback just yells, I'm Luke Cage! And that's it. And everybody believes him that he's Luke Cage, because he was a guy in a hoodie that yelled, I'm Luke Cage. And I was like, that's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever seen. Seriously, you could just kill somebody in the middle of the street and like imagine that. Imagine the fucking balls of doing that. Imagine if I just whipped out a gun and shot somebody in the street and then yelled, I'm Brad Pitt! And everybody thinks Brad Pitt killed somebody in the streets.
Breaking news, Brad Pitt wanted for murder.
So yeah, I think Diamondback was not nearly bad enough to lose 2/3 of viewers. Holy shit. Like, Luke Cage Season 2 is ending. I'm not gonna lie. It was bad enough for it to lose 2/3 of viewers. I'm not gonna lie. But otherwise, Luke Cage Season 2 was better than the first season. Bushwhacker was a really fun villain. Ugh. I didn't even bother with Iron Fist Season 2. Did Iron Fist Season 2 deserve to lose 2/3 of its viewers?
I don't think so, because what I did see, it was a vast improvement upon the first season, which, as I've said previously, is not a phenomenal accomplishment. But if you had told me that Iron Fist lost 2/3 of its viewers halfway through season 1, I would have believed you. But losing 2/3 of its viewers for season 2, That's pretty crazy, and I'm guessing it's not that they watched season 2 and didn't like it and stopped watching, even though that's kind of what I did. I think it's more so that season 1 sucks so bad that nobody wanted to come back to it, and very few people were likely to give it a second chance. It's like season 1 just terrible all around, gets negative reviews everywhere you could possibly look. Very few people stand up to defend that show, and they shouldn't.
I think we know all 2 of the people that would do that.
So, yeah. Season 1, not good. Season 2, what I did see was greatly improved, and probably shouldn't have lost them the 2/3 of viewers, but I stand by my suspicion that it's just that people didn't come back to it after season 1.
Yeah, I think it's
I
just...
have no idea what went wrong with Luke Cage, because I wasn't overtly fond of what I did see of season 1, because after they got rid of Cottonmouth, I was kind of tuned out, because I previously said, I just found Luke Cage to be rather boring and uncharismatic, which I hope he improves as an actor in the future, because, you know, he's obviously a good-looking dude. He could probably do anything he wanted, but I just didn't find the season 1 compelling enough to maintain my viewership.
With Luke's boringness in season 1, I blame the writing more than Mike Coulter's acting.
Yeah, I'm absolutely thinking the same thing.
Because Luke definitely has a whole thing in the comics of, like, incredible, awesome ego.
Right.
Like, one of my favorite fucking things in comics is that Dr. Doom once cheated Luke Cage out of, like, $30. So Luke Cage flew to Latveria, waged a one-man war on Latveria, fought through the entirety of the place, got to Castle Doom or whatever, and it gets to Dr. Doom, and Dr. Doom says, "You seriously waged war on my entire country and came all the way here to fight me over $30? You know what? I respect the hustle." And fucking Dr. Doom forked over the $30, and ever since, Luke Cage and Dr. Doom actually respect each other because they're both fucking crazy and stubborn enough to do shit like
that. I love it. That's how season 1 should have gone.
My favorite part is there's not even a fight between Luke and Dr. Doom. They build up after all that of Luke fighting through Latveria, and Luke gets to Doom, and Doom's like, "Oh, well, alright, here's your $30. Damn, man." I just love the idea of Doom saying to somebody, "I respect the hustle."
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, what you were saying right there with, I lost interest after they killed off Cottonmouth. That is exactly what lost Luke Cage's 2/3 of viewers. Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny because these guys could never maintain solo comics on their own, but they could do it together. So maybe if they put them together for a new Netflix show, Heroes for Hire, come on, guys, you can do it.
Nah, not Netflix.
Not anymore.
But Disney, though, and not Heroes for Hire. Heroes for Hire, I don't think you can do Heroes for Hire anymore. It makes them look too scummy for being paid to be heroes, you know?
Right.
What you gotta do is you gotta do what the comics did. Don't call them Heroes for Hire. Call them Power Man and the Iron Fist.
Right.
And have everybody call Luke Power Man, and Luke gets pissed every time they do it. That, and they make fun of him for the tiara.
Yes.
So, back off of the comic book news, back to a little bit of video game news. Hey, Fallout 76, turns out, it's kind of a mess.
Kind of broken. Who would have thought?
So apparently a lot of people downloaded the Fallout 76 beta for PC, and it immediately deleted itself. I don't know how. Apparently, it wasn't a consistent issue. It only happened for a lot of people, but not all of the people.
Strange.
What? I
don't know what would trigger some of these glitches and bugs that happen, but
I'm no coding master.
Really, yeah.
What is the code?
I'm just really curious to know how something like this could possibly happen.
What is the code for if click start button, delete entire file?
Is there some sort of anti-piracy measure they installed in this game and that sort of booted in early?
That is a definite question, isn't it? Because
It certainly sounds like a safety measure.
yeah, now I'm getting flashbacks to Serious Sam 3. How if you pirate that, a giant fucking red scorpion spawns and kills you on every level. which which then had the bizarre after effect of people intentionally pirating the game so that the red scorpion would spawn.
Red Scorpion speed runs.
Exactly, because they saw it as the ultimate highest difficulty level. You have to always run away from the fucking red scorpion of death. And the great thing was, the red scorpion didn't have any animations either, so he's just constantly gliding towards you.
That's horrifying.
And I think he has no clip as well, so he's just going through walls and shit. But yeah, what kind of fucking thing causes Fallout 76 to just like you click the start button and it just commits seppuku? Like what the fuck?
Like of all the glitches and bugs, I would have assumed to be reported in the Fallout 76 beta. I have to admit, as long as my list would be, this probably wouldn't have made it, but here we are. And I'm actually quite glad to hear something like this occurred because of the sheer hilarity of it.
Oh god. Oh man, it's Bethesda. It's still Bethesda.
It's Bethesda. This has to be a record of some sort.
I don't think it is. Like, this seems like a thing that would have happened with, like, Oblivion at launch, right?
Probably.
And there's another amusing glitch with Fallout 76. So it's a running thing with Fallout series and with all the Bethesda games they're set in this engine, is that it's some kind of precise technical thing that I don't really understand, but the physics are tied to the game's frame rate, which means that the physics are working slower if your frame rate slows, which ordinarily is not very noticeable because if there's one thing that we can praise Bethesda for, they have a supernatural ability to properly fucking set their games up on PC. Like, you can have your shit-tastic little potato computer, and it'll still somehow run Fallout New Vegas at fucking 30 frames or 60 frames a second. So ordinarily, this bizarre quirk of the system is not noticeable. But, apparently, with some folks, if your computer is good enough, and if you uncap the frame rate, you can make it where your character runs way faster than anybody else. Your character's jog is at sprint speed. So, which is now causing a problem because Fallout 76 still works on that same engine despite being an online multiplayer game. So people can just, on PC, like thankfully it's not a console thing, but on PC, if your PC is good enough, you can just fucking uncap the frame rate and your character's the fucking Flash.
Oh man.
What a fucking weird tech thing. I love it. It's so fucking nonsensical. Like, it's such a tech thing that would not work in real life. I love it.
Right.
It defies the logic of space-time, which is great. Like, the only way it could be better is if, like, people are able to get it up to the point where, if you run too fast off a slope, your character launches into the air. That's how fast he's going. It's the fucking future of Fallout 76 is the dudes with crazy gaming rigs and uncapped FPS doing fucking Dragon Ball battles in the air.
And all the other peasants on the ground watch in awe.
It's like the Marvel universe, or Marvel or DC universe, where there's a certain group of crazy superpowered individuals and everybody else. There's one or two good guys who don't have good enough rigs, but they're good enough at the game that they can still fit up there, and there's your Batman, your Daredevil, your Punisher. It's so fucking silly. I love it.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. This is how the entire fucking engine works. So,
right.
If they want to fix this, will this not require an entire fucking overhaul of the way their system works?
Yeah, they'd have to make an entirely new, like, what is that called? Game engine.
Because
It's like they basically have to make an entirely different Fallout 76 from the ground up.
that, or just remove the ability to uncap the frame rates, in which case, obviously, the graphics hogs are going to get pissy about that.
Right.
It's so... I love it. I saw that bit, and I knew I had to bring it up, because it's just too good. Who knew... When we were talking about pay to win, who knew that it would come out this way? We all know about the benefits of rigs in terms of graphics, but who knew it would provide gameplay benefits? Alright. Well, we've kind of run out of topics that Addy won't really be interested in, so... Hey, PlayStation Plus, it's a thing. Hopefully you're getting your PS4 at some point throughout November, right?
I hope so.
That way you can pick up Yakuza Kiwami and be exposed to the insanity of the Yakuza series.
That's what I'm really looking forward to. It's like, even though I've heard good things about Bulletstorm, like, never been on my radar, but with all the nonsense you guys tell me about Yakuza, it's like, that's something I really want to get my hands on one day.
Yeah, it's... Oh my god, Addy. He's here!
Hey, I literally just got home.
Woohoo! So you're gonna be here for like an hour, right?
No, 2.
Okay, cool. So you'll probably be able to finish the podcast then. So me and Pink already went through and hit all the comic book topics. I do want to mention the Fallout 76 2 topics, though, just for a little bit of funny. So did you hear about the 2 big bugs with the Fallout 76 beta, Addy?
The one where it deletes your something or other.
Where it deletes itself? When you click the fucking start button, the game deletes itself for some people.
That's good.
But the one that I just got finished laughing about was so the Bethesda game engines, the physics engine is tied to the frame rate. The faster the frame rate, the faster the physics engine. Ordinarily not a problem, because actually the Fallout games are really good at keeping the frame rate solid. But for Fallout 76, it's turning out they kept it in. So, some people with crazy ultra gaming rigs are able to uncap the frame rate, and the frame rate goes off to, I don't know, fucking 120 or 200 frames per second. And it's causing their character to have the fucking sprint speed at jog speed, and just fucking run all over the place like the fucking Flash. Evidently it's less amusing to you, though. So.
Yeah.
So you came in just at the time where we were talking about PS Plus games for the month. And Pink was saying that he is interested in Yakuza Kiwami. Which is
yeah.
I just want to say, everyone should be interested in Yakuza Kiwami. What other game can you get a quest from a cross-dressing director to help him film the movie, and in order to do so, you have to make Michael Jackson swallow a load of nails? I mixed like 3 or 4 different quests there, but you know.
Yeah. But though that is one of the most iconic moments from Black or White, when Michael Jackson swallows a box of nails.
Hey,
yeah.
Zombie Steven Spielberg says you gotta do it. Oh my god, Addy, I want to ask you this. Did you get to the fucking Yakuza 0 parts where you have to do the stuff with the director? Where you meet the Steven Spielberg past the show? Yes. Oh my god, he's horrifying, isn't he?
Yeah.
It's the most...
Spining is a bit... Spining.
yeah, that is his name, Steven Spining.
Yeah, Miracle Johnson. Which, the thing is, like, during that whole... by the way, I finished the whole game, but yeah. So, during the whole bloody... The whole part where they, like, hype up Michael Jackson being in Kamurocho, you know, they call him the pop star prince. And I thought that literally meant the pop star prince, as in the guy who was named Prince.
That would also fit. It was like 89, and that also would have been an era of Prince's popularity, so...
Yeah, so
right.
throughout that whole thing, I was like, did they actually secure the rights to Prince? Like, did they actually pay someone to have Prince in the game? And then the guy who looks like Michael Jackson comes out, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
And then they say he's Miracle Johnson, and I'm like, ah, yes, I understand now.
Miracle Johnson. God. And the thing I
Yeah.
love is Miracle Johnson does not look very much like Michael Jackson at all. He's just got the hair and the hat, and that's pretty much it. And the
Yeah.
mannerisms. Steven Spiner looks like Steven Spielberg if Steven Spielberg's main pastime, instead of directing movies, he devoured the souls of the young. Like,
By the way, I just today, because I'm doing my second playthrough on Legendary. Just today, I got the turkey quest.
oh my god, you didn't finish the turkey bit on your first try?
No, because
You poor bastard. That leads to one of the best real estate agents.
yeah, I didn't give a shit about real estate on the second on the first go. Right now, I'm just going about buying up all the real estate and just getting all of the upgrades.
Yeah, that's a little weird to me, because for me, real estate is entirely funding all of my investments with Kiryu.
For me, but first when I first play throughs of games, I like to basically rush through them, so I know what the general idea is of the game, and then on the second playthrough I actually enjoy them.
I do the complete opposite. I take it as slow as I can.
Well, yeah, but you're not a game reviewer.
That's true. I like how Pink gets to hear about this. Like, we just went from talking about making a guy swallow nails to talking about Michael Jackson and Steven Spielberg being in the game to talking about real estate investments from a turkey quest.
Yeah, so here's the deal.
This is why I'm so interested in Yakuza now.
Yeah, so here's the deal, Pink. To get Michael Jackson to work for you, you need to beat up a lot of zombies and then dance with him. In Zero, I mean.
Makes perfect sense.
Oh my god, Addy, is it just me or is the disco dance minigame the most impossibly difficult thing in Yakuza 0?
It is.
Like,
No. The Talk Girl minigame is the worst one.
oh, I found that one extraordinarily easy.
I guess my aim is just off.
So you're making Kiryu stumble all over himself when he's talking to chicks?
No, I mean, usually, it goes well. It's just that I don't have the half an hour to actually be able to hit the freaking targets that I want to hit, and I don't like calling girls yaks.
God. Hey, that's probably pretty close to canon, because I think Kiryu is really inept around chicks, so hey. He can't be a sex god like Majima.
Yeah. Pre or post Zero Majima.
Yes.
No. I guess that answers the question.
Look, pre, he's got the ponytail. Post, he's got that crazy attitude that women love.
Yeah, and he also got naked abs.
Yeah.
And also the freaking Rock Lee hairdo.
Yeah.
The things that the girls die for. Rock Lee.
I mean, he's not really got the Rock Lee, he's not really got a bowl cut.
I mean, not really, it's just the top part of it, but still.
It's more kind of a middle parting hairdo, I'd say.
I don't know, the thing that stuck with
I'm
me
not
the
an
most
expert on hairstyles.
the thing that most stuck with me, the thing that most stuck with me off of that hairdo is that it looks like he just let his hair down and then cut it in a line, and that's it. That's all he did.
Yeah, kind of. Oh, I'm curious. So who do you think would be the voice actor for Majima if there was English translation?
My ideal one?
Yeah.
Bloody, I forgot his name. Freaking Mark Hamill.
Conveniently enough, guess who fucking voiced Majima when they translated the first Yakuza game to English? Fucking
I know that he voiced someone, but I didn't know that it was Majima.
Yeah. And he actually pulled, like, everyone else on the cast phoned it in. Mark Hamill makes a wonderful Majima. And now every time I read Majima's dialogue, I imagine it with Mark Hamill's voice.
The thing I liked most about the thing that I liked the most in the story of Zero, even though it was a really good story, but the thing I liked most is the end where they show Majima and Kiryu meeting for the first time, and the reveal that Majima's changed.
Right, because at the end of Zero's story, Majima has to go crazy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've definitely not gotten that far. I'm still just as far as I don't know where was I last at in the story. I want to say I'm still at chapter 7.
The thing is, there's not much dialogue. There's only one line of dialogue that Majima says, and that's Kiryu-chan. But the way he delivers it is just the perfect.
Right, because it's leading into Kiwami's whole thing of the Majima Everywhere mechanic. Oh my god, Pink, yeah, you'll have fun with the Majima Everywhere's mechanic.
Think if you really want to have fun with the story, because some things you might not understand, I do actually recommend getting Zero sometime because, well, it feels a lot for me, even though I started with it, but still, like I think that's playing the prequel first would fill a lot of holes.
It's not. Well, the thing is, Yakuza 0 came out like 10 years after the first Yakuza, so it's not necessary by any means. It's just, it is pretty nice. It's nice to understand why Majima is the way he is. That's all.
Yeah.
Kiryu doesn't really have too much that would necessitate Yakuza 0, right?
Yeah, it's only Majima. Like I actually like Majima more than Kiryu, but then I like the antagonist always, so of course I like Majima more than Kiryu.
Majima's not really the antagonist. He's more like, I don't know.
He's an anti-villain. Right? Or anti-villain. As anti-hero.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I was about to go for examples of he's the Venom to Kiryu's Spider-Man, right?
Yeah.
Eddie Brock
Vegeta.
Venom. Eddie Brock Venom. The Virgil
You
to
gotta
his Dante.
specify.
Majima is Vegeta. The
Pun-
better father of the two.
the Punisher to his Daredevil. Which, I mean, obviously Kiryu is supposed to be the straight man in most of the relationships he's in. And the most accurate description of Kiryu I've ever seen was, Kiryu's face is a brick. So, yeah, Majima's obviously got way more interesting shit going on. But I think Kiryu, for a straight-laced, straight-man protagonist, is actually a pretty good handling of it.
Yeah, Kiryu, for a straight-laced, straight-man protagonist, he is really freaking crazy.
Yeah, he has moments. He definitely has moments.
Just look at any of his dancing shows.
Yeah.
Like, there's no emotions. He's just compelled to be an idiot. But like, he doesn't show any of it. He's really bored of, being funny. But he does it anyway.
He's stone-faced on the surface, but he's a dancing fool at heart.
Yeah. Speaking of dancing fools, have you played karaoke with Majima?
No, I haven't. I don't think I have. I've only played karaoke like once or twice with Kiryu.
Majima has a song. I don't remember which song it is. It's like 24 karat something or other, if I remember correctly. But it turns into like I want to say like a 70s or so freaking just roller skating number. It's the best.
Yakuza is delightfully insane.
Yeah.
And now, the thing is, we'll all get to go through Yakuza Kiwami fresh. So we'll all be able to talk about it. That'll actually be one of the few cases of games we all play through at once.
Yeah, and funnily enough, like, I just got into Yakuza. I'd actually not put it with some of my favorite games at this point.
Oh yeah, people fucking love Yakuza 0. I've not finished it yet, but I mean, to my understanding, the story really picks up later on.
There's just so many twists. Just so many twists, and none of them are that bad, in my opinion. Some of them are a bit obvious, yes, but like you're at chapter 7, so you know who Makoto is.
Well, yes, I know who Makoto is because I went through that whole cutscene where Majima is like, "Oh, hey, this guy's. Oh no, wait, this one's Makoto." Oh,
yeah. So there's some other stuff about Makoto.
Well, I figure there is.
Yeah.
Doesn't Makoto get the 3rd spot on the fucking cover?
I don't remember.
Well, I feel like on the cover it's Kiryu, it's Majima, it's the 4 Dojima top dogs, and then it's Makoto.
No, it's Kiryu, Majima in the front of the like behind them are the three Dojima people. Behind them are Tachibana and another guy that you will meet later on. And then behind them is Makoto.
Okay, yeah, right. I forgot about Tachibana because he's more or less just not present in the story, at least by chapter 7. You get that one scene of him, and that's it.
He becomes a big part of it in the later ones.
Well, I took one look at him, and I'm like, all right, so he's the villain of Kiryu's storyline.
Yeah. Spoilers.
Evil Hand.
There's a twist.
I'm sure there is.
Like, a part of me wants to tell you what happens so that you can be surprised. Other part of me knows that that's spoilers, so I won't.
All right.
But yeah, Tachibana may or may not be a good guy. That also may or may not be a freaking a Chinese assassin behind or after you with Kiryu.
Well, I think I did hear about the Chinese assassin bit, yeah. I just want Tachibana to be a bad guy so I have an excuse to beat the shit out of Oda, because I don't like him.
You get a reason to beat the shit out of Oda anyway. It doesn't matter if he is or not.
So, hey, we're all not particularly big fans of The Witcher, are we? Oh, Daddy kind of likes it.
I think that the third game is better than the other. Well, it's better than 2. I think it's overrated still.
I mean, everything's better than Witcher 1, so...
Well, yeah, but I can't really make a concrete opinion on it since I haven't played it.
But regardless, we'd all agree we're tired of the hype, right?
Yes, definitely.
And also, Pink, I hate Henry Cavill. Do you hate Henry Cavill?
Yes, I do.
So, what if those two things merge to form one horrifically bad masterpiece of shit?
It'd look a lot like Mark Henry Cavill's face in that picture right there.
Yeah. So, hey, Henry Cavill as Geralt. What the fuck?
Geraldo of Rivera.
Sure. And apparently he looks terrible. Absolutely terrible. Because they didn't bother with any makeup, they just threw a fucking wig on him.
I mean, the White Wolf is known for his freaking
perfect skin.
No, I was going to make a joke, but it would help if I wouldn't forget the English words.
Massive penis.
No.
Old man hair.
Well, yeah, but I was thinking of something else. Freaking
butt chin.
No, I think that's a thing on actual Geralt as well.
Doesn't actual Geralt have a beard?
He does.
Yes, he does. But I think Henry Cavill's had enough issues with facial hair interfering with his film. I think
he just didn't want to dye it white.
No, what they're gonna do is that they're gonna make a freaking beard wig and then just glue it to his face.
They were just gonna glue another white wig to his face and hope for the best.
Look,
that's the level of effort that went into this costume right here.
No, Pink. You know what they're gonna do? They're gonna buy a copy of The Witcher 3. They're gonna take out the cover and then glue it to his face.
We're just gonna grab a white cat and glue it to his face.
Or that. They're gonna replace him with a Khajiit, a white Khajiit.
It just meows every now and then and he smacks it like, shut up.
The beard is alive.
So I think we can all agree we hope this is terrible.
Yeah.
Right.
At least partially because it would be a hilarious train wreck, and partially, at least in my case, I want the hype train for both Henry Cavill and The Witcher to die.
Right.
There we go. So, finally figured out the word that I was looking for. So you know, the White Wolf is known about his forehead spanning 3 states.
I mean, by all means, I don't hope the Witcher 3 games are bad. I let people have their fun, but I want people to not. And I don't care if people talk about loving the games. I care when people are always talking about how much they love the games. And when everybody is always talking about how much they love the games. And
By the way, Undertale 2.
And I want
on the same note.
Oh god, we'll get to that eventually. And Henry Cavill's career, I want to die because he's a fucking douchebag. I don't want Henry Cavill to die. You know, I don't know who he
Just
is.
his career.
I don't know who he is as a person. If he just retires to the countryside with several $1 billion, it's like, okay, sure. I just don't want him. I don't want him to be any more movies. That's all I'm saying.
Imagine if bloody.
It's what I always say whenever there's a particular actor I don't like is, oh, you know, well, I don't mind him as a person, so if he just disappeared with a couple $1 billion to some European country or something, that'd be great.
Don't bring him here. But
I didn't say which European country. He could go to the fucking Sweden or something, where his $1 billion would be valueless.
But the thing I was going to say, imagine if this Netflix series has the same effect on Henry Cavill, like it had, like Deadpool had on Ryan Reynolds, or Wolverine had on freaking Hugh Jackman. But instead of him being defined by the character, he just starts thinking that he is the character. So he just steals a horse from somewhere and starts going around yelling about monsters.
And every single woman he runs into is like, "Hey!"
No, he doesn't even talk. He just pulls down his pants.
And somehow, some way, he's been made sterile. Nobody knows how.
So some say it was self-medication.
And by self-medication, we mean he whipped out a knife and cut his own balls off. Yeah, I hope that series is a train wreck. At least partially because I don't want... If that series turns out to be any good, like, it's already bad enough with people I know recommending me to play the Witcher games, and bad enough knowing people that recommend me Netflix series. Imagine someone recommending me a Witcher Netflix series.
When worlds collide.
I'll just be like, okay, so don't talk to me for the next 5 minutes, okay? Like, fuck, you guys think it's bad on the internet. I went to high school with a guy that was always telling me to play Witcher. I had to run into that guy every fucking day, and he was like, hey, you played Witcher yet? And I'm like, no. No, I said I wouldn't yesterday, and I said the day before, and the week before.
I have a similar issue with Rainbow Six, even though I like
Rainbow Six though.
But here's the thing. I said similar, by the way. Here's the thing. The guy really wants me to like become a pro player and then go with his team to do shit. But I don't like the game enough to dedicate my life. Like, there are some games that I could maybe not really dedicate my life to actually be able to go to like tournaments and shit. Rainbow Six is not one of them.
I like the idea of a dude being like, hey, Addy, you want to get paid to play this video game? And you're like, nah, I don't like it. So, on similar news of things that infuriate, there's going to be an Undertale sequel. And apparently it just released. Or at least a beta of some kind released. With no fucking prior explanation or any of that shit.
Right.
And apparently, disaster. Because guess what? Guess fucking what? In similar news to the Fallout 76 bit, apparently if you try to use the uninstaller for this Undertale sequel called Deltarune, it will just delete the entire fucking directory that Deltarune is put under.
So put it under system.
Yeah. Put it under...
Everybody who liked...
Destroy your computer.
No, Bing, let me say it. Everybody who liked Undertale should put Deltarune on their system.
Oh, come on. Let's not go that far. We just got back from me saying, like, I don't want the celebrities to die, but now Addy's like, I want everybody who likes this game to destroy their computer.
I just want them to retire somewhere where I won't have to see them.
With billions of dollars. I added that.
Right. Right.
That's a better solution than fucking playing movies. I guarantee you 90% of the actors out there, if I was like, hey, you want to stop acting and get $1 billion? They'd be like, sweet.
Yeah. If I were an actor, I'd take that deal.
So, Addy, what you need to do is you need to make it nicer. You need to make it where instead the uninstaller gives $1 billion to the person, gives $1 billion to every person who uninstalls it.
All right. They need to put it in the system for them, and then the thing needs to send that info to Toby Fox so he can sell it later on.
You get paid $1 billion to not play this game. That's where all the profit from Undertale went.
Yeah.
It's secretly it's a Banksy thing. It's a Banksy and Toby Fox are working together.
Banksy and Toby Fox will work together so they can release Polybius.
Jesus Christ. So, hey, yeah. That is another hilarious thing of why the fuck is the uninstaller behaving like this?
The thing is,
Right.
when I heard about this, it didn't even surprise me because the guy, well, neither of you have played Undertale on PC, have you?
No, I believe I did see the forum post you made about this, but I think the issue with what you're saying there is that would imply Toby Fox did this intentionally, and I don't think he did.
I'm just saying that I can see him being what's the word, incompetent enough to accidentally make it a feature.
Yeah, don't blame something on evil when it's really just stupidity. But hey, that's a game that we're not going to play.
I mean, the uninstaller works. It just works a little too well.
Yeah. Hey, yeah.
Or maybe not well enough.
Natty going back to, it's like, hey, so we've got a bit of a mouse infestation in our house. Okay, we'll just drop a nuke on the city.
I mean, hey, there won't be any mice anymore.
Aren't mice actually one of the few creatures that would survive the nuclear holocaust? I think it's like mice and cockroaches are the ones everybody says would survive nukes.
Right.
Yeah, right. So, here's a little bit of Alex and Addy news. So, apparently Capcom says they have high expectations for Devil May Cry 5 and the Resident Evil 2 remake. Now, I don't know if anybody's been paying attention to AAA publishers lately, but this is code for, if these games don't sell well, the franchise is done. So, that's actually really depressing news. Hip hip hooray. So you guys remember how the Soul Calibur 6 developer, I don't know, about a year ago, genuinely said, if this game does not sell well, there will not be any more Soul Caliburs?
Right.
I'm getting a vibe of that.
I mean, if the Devil May Cry 5 launch doesn't go well, then at least you can join me in waiting for another sequel. Because I've actually went through this.
Well, I know you're waiting for the next actual Assassin's Creed sequel, but that's never happened.
No, not yeah. For one, and Sengoku Buster is also on a hold like this.
Sengoku Basra, though, they moved what's his fucking face from
Ono.
They moved Ono over, which means that there's a Sengoku Basra that's going to come out at some point. Whereas here it's like, okay, so they're genuinely just going to can the franchise. If Resident Evil and Devil May Cry both got fucking killed off as a series, I think I might just quit gaming altogether. That's like 2 out of my 5 or 6 favorite gaming franchises. And out of my 5 or 6 favorite gaming franchises, one of them is Silent Hill, and another is Metal Gear, both of which are also dead. So...
Oh yeah, I forgot Metal Gear was dead now. How did that happen again?
They released Metal Gear Survive and it didn't sell.
They released Kojima from his job.
Yeah. And Konami's fucking making pachinko machines instead. Let me tell you, I love Metal Gear, I love Silent Hill. I don't love Metal Gear or Silent Hill enough to go over to Japan and play fucking pachinko.
I mean, join me. I don't think there's any live franchises I like. No, never mind Yakuza. That's it. That's the list of live franchises that I like.
I've got Red Dead, but I mean, odds are Red Dead 3 ain't coming until like 2025 or 2027.
Yeah. It's like Rockstar games aren't going away, but they're not coming out bi-yearly either.
They used to be, but not anymore.
Yeah, it takes like a good decade now to finish one of their games, though.
I mean,
How long was GTA 5 in development?
Pink, here's the thing. You're not thinking in horse ball shrinkage technology.
You're not thinking
Pardon me?
You're not thinking in workers don't get to go home to see their kids technology.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I forgot about that.
You're not Konami enough, Pink. You need to be more like Konami.
Oh man, you know what's Persona is another franchise that's like, oh yeah, that game's I'll wait a decade on that. fucking, there was genuinely like 10 years between 4 and 5's Western releases. Like, if Devil May Cry and Resident Evil are out, then Alex is fucked. I'll just have to be, I'll have to be dragged along by Addy to whatever next Ubisoft festival he likes.
I'm growing tired of Ubisoft.
Yeah.
Ubisoft is dead to him now.
I mean, they're still For Honor, but they're doing stuff. They're doing bad stuff.
Yeah, I saw they got rid of Lawbringer's arms.
Yeah.
oh, that's fucking. I love it.
My favorite one of those posts was when Aramusha and Nobushi's things got flipped. So Aramusha takes out a coin from his bag, he throws it in the air, and then just hits it away with his ass. That was really good.
I don't understand why that coin flip exists. Out of all the female characters in that game that I would expect not to be sexualized, it would be Nobushi. Because she's fucking creepy as hell. But evidently that exists. What am I saying? It's a female character in a video game. Of course somebody wants to fuck her.
Yeah.
Devil May Cry and Resident Evil now need to die because they're now too pure for this world. What remaining Japanese franchises that aren't just porn need to die now? Before they are infected.
Gotta get with the times.
All hail Fatal Frame.
Oh my god!
The superior horror genre. Or
Speaking
horror
of Fatal Frame,
what is it getting remade or something?
No, but it's in Smash Brothers.
Oh right, yeah.
She's one of the new assist trophies. Is the fucking protagonist chick from Fatal Frame. So
there's many of those.
Yeah, but
it's not just one. I don't think.
Yeah, it's the. I don't fucking know her name. I saw her name and I was like, okay, I'm not gonna butcher that. We'll call her Fatal Frame protagonist.
Number 3.
Pink, did you even catch the name of what game she comes from? Because it's one of the specific ones with a subtitle. It's not the original.
No, I did not.
She comes from a Fatal Frame game with a subtitle.
She comes from the Framening.
The frame... Fatal Frame 2, Frame Harder.
Fatal Frame 3, Frame with a Vengeance.
Yeah.
two Fatal 2 Frame.
Live free or live free. Oh my god, that's a tongue twister. Live free or Fatal Frame.
No, it's a live Fatal or Die Frame.
Live frame or die fatal.
Yeah. Freaking the title.
You know, we should probably hit the last topic before we hit the Smash one, because I've got a shit ton of pictures. I've got a shit ton of funny internet pictures I've collected for Smash. So, hey.
Alright, nice.
Rainbow Six is making some aesthetic changes. What are those aesthetic changes, you ask? Well,
they're removing everything. There's no more game. There's only China.
It's just Xi Jinping steps out of the television like the fucking Ring Girl. And he's
not even Xi Jinping. It's just Pooh Bear speaking Chinese.
No. Xi Jinping, he steps out only if you've got a Pooh Bear doll in your house.
Yeah.
It's like the Ring, where you don't get to see how he kills people. You only find the fucked up corpses, and you find tore up. The Pooh Bear dolls are torn up and spread all over the floor. The fucking stuffing and the shreds of fabric. Oh god. So, hey, they made some changes so that they can port the game to China and Japan without running into huge cultural issues. What are these changes, you may ask? Well, let's see. For one, they removed just about every instance of skulls in the game.
Right.
Which is weird and absurd to Westerners, but evidently, like, that's a big thing in Japan, right? They have a big thing against skeletons, right, Addy?
For Japan?
Yeah.
Not as far as I know.
Don't they have, like, an anime character with a skull face?
They have Skullomania.
Maybe it may have been a China thing. I feel like there was some game. I feel like there's
the only The only thing about Japan relating to death that I know of is not liking the number 4 because it sounds like death, but that's the thing with China as well.
Yeah, I definitely know about that, but I feel like medieval. It's funny. Hey, here's a little bit of a news topic that didn't get brought up, but hey, a medieval, the original PS1 medieval, it's getting remastered. Yay! But also Warcraft 3 is getting remastered. Who fucking expected that? But what I was saying was the original medieval like had a thing where your character in medieval is a big skeleton guy, right?
Right.
Well, he wears a helmet in the Japanese version, because they thought the skull was too scary for Japanese people. But yeah, they removed all instances of skulls. When you kill somebody or when somebody dies from fall damage, rather than it showing the skull icon, it will show a person with a cross over their chest. Not a Christian cross, an X, but
Yeah.
The bizarre one is the melee icon for when you kill somebody with your knife has been replaced. It used to be a knife icon. Now it's a fist icon for some reason.
Right.
Even though you're still stabbing the shit out.
Telling you you're punching somebody, but you're really just drawing your blade and slicing them open. Which is...
Now you're giving them some extreme fisting.
I assume that's a China thing, right? Because I don't think Japan's got much... I'm speaking here because I'm in the same frame of mind from Yakuza, where you shank the shit out of a load of fucking dudes, but I don't think Japan's got an issue with knives.
Yeah, I was about to say, samurai. So
I'm guessing that most of these censorship things are due to China.
Yeah.
Because Japan, for all intents and purposes, compared to China, pretty modern, I'd say.
I'm kind of shocked.
China...
The only real freaking thing about Japan that I find really freaking weird is how public baiting is a thing. Public naked baiting is a thing.
Okay, so the sexual content thing was definitely for China. They removed the strippers and the stripper icon in the fucking strip club, but that's it.
Right.
So I guess that's a China thing, because Japan would have ate that up.
No, actually...
For the most part, I was okay with all these changes, because aesthetically, I don't see the importance of any of them. I mean, replacing the melee icon was kind of weird, but okay, whatever. But replacing the little stripper neon sign thing for whatever that ugly-ass hand thing they put in there, I was like, I would have rather they just removed the neon sign entirely, like they removed the lottery machines, because that thing's freaking ugly. The aesthetic changes aren't gameplay breaking, but I feel like that hand thing is.
Here's the thing, Pink. You're not supposed to be turned on. You're just supposed to be reminded that you only get a handy.
I don't think I was turned on by the neon sign, though, but that hand thing, it just looks so friggin' ugly.
I actually forgot what it looked like, but let me check it out.
I find it amusing there that China's like, oh yeah, you can go to a strip club. There just can't be any implication that there are strippers. Because there's no way they're actually taking out this proper strip club room with the strip pole and the fucking money everywheres. That's still there. Right. They just took out the fucking neon stripper on the wall.
Right.
Yeah. Also, I found a thing that I wanted to share.
See, I just looked at that Bleach character. And he's got like a half skull face, so I was wrong there. Or maybe I was half right because it is a half skull.
It's just a dude in a mask now. A dude in a mask and sunglasses. Which makes it a pretty lame symbol for your bikers. Oh yeah, we got dudes in masks and glasses. That means we're the real badasses.
Yeah, and people are saying that, if they're gonna remove, well, everything, then they should also remove the RNG shit, because that's also not in China.
They probably will. You never know.
Also, I just found this while looking for something else.
Oh god, give me a timestamp. Oh no, you fool.
Sorry. Chinese operator idea.
Oh my god. You fucking ass. Now it's off. The timestamp is supposed to come before the image, you fool. Xi Jinping, it's all censored. Uses a powerful jamming device that instantly censors all knives, skulls, environmental blood, and other things dangerous to our perfect communist society. Fun is disabled for the rest of the game after deploying. Hey, speed 2, armor 2. Holy shit.
Friendship grenades.
Friendship grenade. Deployable firewall.
So yeah,
I don't know. That operator looks pretty OP.
not any more OP than release Tiger or freaking Lion.
Water gun. Stubby water gun. One-handed water guns.
Oh yeah, that hand. Yeah, that hand.
Oh yeah, people are gonna want to fuck the hand, aren't they?
I told you, it's not supposed to make you horny. It's supposed to make you remember that you only got a handy.
I love that they took out gambling. That's definitely a China thing.
Yep.
Yeah, it is. But the thing is, they didn't take out gambling. They took out references to gambling, but they're still gambling. There's just no gambling.
The glory of Ubisoft. And the fucking taking out of blood. Which, I mean, I guess that's kind of a thing. Is that really a thing? I guess that's probably a China thing. They're saying Asia. They're really saying Asia, but it's all China.
Right.
The thing is, Asia is so you can't blame one nation. Asia is whenever anything in the actual continent of Asia goes wrong.
I like the idea of the implication that is going further. Like, oh no, we went to war with Mongolia for something China did because Asia.
I couldn't hear you. You cut out.
It was a stupid joke.
I'm gonna assume that it was something like we didn't went to war with Mongolia. We went to war with Asia.
Whatever. You know what the thing I don't get here is? I'm surprised that the Chinese government isn't asking that the Chinese levels be removed. The Chinese maps.
There are Chinese maps.
Yeah, isn't there at least one map that occurs in China? I want to say skyscraper.
Possibly, yeah.
Or tower, not skyscraper. Skyscraper.
Yeah.
No, tower is Korea.
Tower is Korea.
Tower is Korea, and skyscraper might be Japan.
Yeah,
Do we have Chinese operators yet?
we do have Chinese operators.
Legion and Ying, if I recall correctly.
Then it might be. That tower might actually be Chinese. I don't remember if it's Korea or China.
Damn it, now I need to look things up. But I'm surprised they didn't... I want to look up... Yeah, I'll look up. Rainbow Six. My keyboard is so fucking loud. Oh, they did remove Tower from the fucking ranked playlist, didn't they?
Yeah.
Okay, Tower is in Korea, and, let's look at the... Where? Skyscraper. Skyscraper is in Japan.
All right.
So I
was right.
I don't think there are any maps in China. That's convenient, isn't it? Because something tells me China's regime would probably wouldn't want to imply that violence ever occurs within their borders.
Right.
Or that any terrorist organization would ever rise within China.
No, they will release a Chinese map, but you can only get access to it with a VPN, no matter where you are.
The Chinese map is when you play the game and the Chinese military comes for you.
Another thing that people are saying that with this, they're opening the floodgates, and there's just gonna be so much more hackers.
With China?
Yeah.
Who'da thunk? Can Russians play Rainbow Six? I don't know.
Good question.
I don't know if it's one of the games that gets censored over there. They didn't even bother to release. Because if Russia's there, then absolutely anything that China brings isn't going to be anywhere near as bad as what Russia brings.
Right.
Russia pretty much prints hackers.
Yeah.
It's their national currency.
Right, so here's the thing. I wanted to post it as a picture, but there's no real way for me to find it on my actual PC, so I'm just gonna read it out from my laptop. So it says, Tom Clancy rolling in his grave, higher RPM than Sonic. And then as a reply, we should put some copper wires on him so he generates free energy.
Stupid. But yeah, this does raise questions of like, what else are they probably going to have to censor?
All of For Honor. For Honor will become 3D Street Fighter, so Street Fighter EX. So EX plus whatever the hell they're calling it this week.
Well, we know the entire fucking reason the Marching Fire expansion exists is more or less just to market it to China.
That's true.
So, I'd say I'd say the difficulty more so will be with the existence of executions altogether. It's like, oh yeah, we can't stand to have blood on the walls in Rainbow Six, but here, let's have this brutal fucking kill where you gut a guy and then chop his fucking head off and then fuck the corpse. That's cool.
Yeah.
Coming in the next update, Roman will just come out. He'll just reveal that there's just no game left, and then he'll leave. Like, neither of you watch the Warriors Dance streams, do you?
No, I don't.
Yeah, Roman is the lead designer or something like that.
Yeah, I knew about that.
Yeah, so Roman is a disliked character in the community because he slipped and said that Lawbringer and Shigoki don't need buffs because they have.
That wasn't a slip. That's their official policy. Yeah,
I know.
They're still firmly saying like casual matters more than competitive, which it is kind of silly. I'm not gonna lie, because like Lawbringer genuinely has nothing outside of parries. Parries. So, parries and his. I guess parries and his anti-stamina moves, maybe.
Yeah. So he'll just come out. He'll be like, "There's no characters, only Wulin," and then he leaves.
The execution mechanic has been removed altogether. Just use lights. Don't bother with using heavies. You're not going to get executions anyways.
Yeah, and then we also removed all references to prior combat. Everything is just tippity top. There's no minions now. And in Breach, you break into the castle so you can have a tea party.
And you can't. There's no PvP anymore. There's no Chinese warriors versus Chinese warriors. It's PvE, and all of the enemies are Japanese civilians.
Yeah. And what else was there? It would be good for this. Bloody.
The Vikings and the Knights exist, but you don't actually fight them. You just sell shit to them.
The Vikings and the Knights exist, but only as NPCs and only as supporting characters. You call on them with your microtransaction money.
They try to bring you movies, but you complain about there being too many black people in the movies.
No, that's only the Knights. The Vikings you can sell fish with, or something. I don't know.
Fish from your poisoned waters. Oh, hey, here's a fish. It's only 50% plastic. They've adapted. They've become the plastic.
No, the Vikings sell you furniture.
But it's all like really poorly assembled because the fucking instructions are still in Norse.
Yeah, no, the instructions are another piece of wood that's just carved with runes.
Yeah.
So the Chinese can't read it.
What the fuck is this? But they've all got the terrible English voice acting.
Yeah.
Like Nushia is still like, oh, there's an enemy at the gates. And it's like, what the fuck?
There's literally no enemies in the game left.
It's just
there's no such thing as enemy. For now will actually just become third life. Third life.
Oh God. Hey, so I like Super Smash Bros. And I'm gonna buy Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Pink, do you like Super Smash Bros.?
I do.
So Nintendo released the last Nintendo Direct for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. And there's a lot of information here. A lot of it is very controversial. And I am laughing my ass off at the controversy.
I honestly haven't watched the entire Direct yet. I've only seen the new playable characters in the trailer for the whatever that mode is, the one with the light.
Yeah, the story mode basically. So
yeah,
it's really big. It's a really big bullshit that neither Naruto nor Goku got to be in the game, nor Luffy.
Shut the fuck up, Addy.
What the hell is Luffy?
Don't indulge them, Addy. Don't feed the animals. Don't fucking feed the animals. So
Luffy Pink is Japanese Elastic Man or whatever, Japanese Mr. Fantastic, yeah, with a straw hat.
He's the One Piece guy.
Okay.
But So, they revealed the last two characters that will be in the game at release. Ken from Street Fighter, shocking absolutely nobody. Like, as soon as the concept of Echo characters came out, it was like, okay, yeah, Ken's in.
Ken's in.
Yeah. And he actually looks pretty fun. I've not bothered to put any time. I've only played the Wii U Smash once, and it was at a tournament, so obviously I didn't really have time to play Ryu.
Right.
But it looks like I'm probably not gonna play Ryu because I'll just play Ken instead.
Yeah,
I never got the DLC for Smash, so I didn't get to play Ryu either.
From what I understood, Ken is basically just a better Ryu, like a faster Ryu.
They didn't say any flaws he had. Yeah, that's the issue. That is a definite noticeable thing. Like, oh yeah, he's got more normal move options.
He's Ryu, but better.
He runs faster. He's got a bigger hitbox on his Shoryu. And why play Ryu? Just fucking pick Ken. Fuck everyone.
Pick Ken and win.
Ryu is for losers. It's just like Street Fighter V. It's just like Street Fighter V. Because in Street Fighter V, Ryu is at the bottom of the fucking tier list every time.
The DLC characters will feature Akuma, who will be just an even better Shoto. His final smash is a Shangoku Satsu, but it's a stage-wide thing, and it automatically KOs everybody on screen, even him.
He Shingoku Satsu's himself. Which is especially amusing since Street Fighter V finally confirmed that the Shingoku Satsu is just him beating the shit out of you. So it's Akuma beating the shit out of himself.
And also simultaneously everybody else on screen.
Akuma just pulls out a mirror and he looks at the mirror and he says to himself, "Die 1,000 deaths." And the other one is Incineroar, which I don't know about you, Pink, but at first my reaction is, oh god, another Pokemon?
Right.
But then then I saw the moveset.
Yep. I was in the same boat. It's like, we had previously discussed that leaked list, right? And Incineroar was on that list?
Yes, Incineroar was one of the big leak ones alongside Ken.
Right. I had never seen or even heard of Incineroar before this character was announced. So I had no idea what to expect upon hearing that Incineroar was in fact confirmed. But once I saw that he was a big fiery wrestler, I was all in.
The thing I love... So, Addy, you go ahead. I'll say it later.
Yeah, so when I saw Incineroar, I was like, who? And then I went, which furry fantasy is this guy from?
The Zangief fantasy, Addy. He's just Zangief.
Yeah, he's modern Zangief. He is Zangief's persona.
Exactly. The thing I love is that they showed off where he gets the double lariat move that Zangief does. And the announcer then says, I guess you could call it a red cyclone. Like, okay, just being straight up, this is very clearly Zangief, but you didn't want to have a third Street Fighter character. So you made him a Pokemon character, but he's Zangief. Which means that...
What if Zangief becomes Echo DLC later on?
That would be awesome! An Echo fighter of a character from a different franchise would be so fucking weird, but it would be cool. If Zangief was in Smash Ultimate, he would be an instant main. Like, I would have trouble picking any other character. Unfortunately, they did confirm that there will be no Echo DLCs.
Oh.
There will be a season pass with 5 characters, and they will all not be Echoes. They will all be new, entirely unique characters.
There will be 5 DLC characters, and all of them will be from Fire Emblem.
Oh, God.
Yeah, probably.
So, hey, yeah, the new assist trophies.
You have to think they're running out at this point, though.
They're not. Yeah, they revealed more assist trophies, and yeah, there's some really neat ones, like, hey, the chick from Fatal Frame is here. Fucking Akira from Virtua Fighter. Who expected that one? Guile's in there, and Guile looks awesome. The only issue with Guile is he doesn't seem to throw sonic booms. The only move he has is the flash kick. But
I mean, they needed to nerf him to actually be not too good.
Yeah. But yeah, 2 of the fucking new assist trophies, both Fire Emblem characters. We got the Black Knight, who is just a knight in black armor who runs around smacking people with his sword. So hey, he's a Fire Emblem character. Woohoo! And the other is a chick that turns into a dragon and then lights the entire fucking screen on fire.
So Liu
Oh
Kang.
wow.
Yeah.
Imagine that. Imagine if somebody like Shao Kahn got into freaking Smash.
I just said Akira from Virtua Fighter got in. Like, Addy, we are
Anything is possible.
The thing is,
after Bayonetta and Cloud, anything is possible. Like, it's just off the fucking walls. Cloud has never been on a Nintendo console. He has never been on a Nintendo console. Like, Bayonetta at least has the Wii U games, but Cloud genuinely has only been, like, Sony and Xbox.
Right, and Cloud is now going to be in 2 Smash Brothers games.
but
Which
how do you?
is same amount of games that Pichu has been in. He's on level with a melee character.
But how would they even make Shao Kahn work in Smash?
I think
Well,
I
heck
could
if
think
I know.
I could think of a solid couple ways because they've already introduced they've introduced with the previous game the idea of assist trophies that function as basically AI controlled fighters, right?
Yeah.
And that's what Black Knight is. That's what Shovel Knight is. I believe they introduced Shovel Knight as one of them.
Yeah, they did.
Yes.
Odds are that's probably going to be what Alucard is. And I want to say there's a couple others. Oh, the guy from ARMS, Springman, he's going to be one of those. And so they function as additional enemies, and I think actually they have a health meter and everything, and they can be KO'd, and they stay until they're KO'd. And the thing is, in score-based modes, you actually score a point for killing them in the same way you would for killing another player.
Yeah. So
Yes.
so they recommended that you kill them before they get KO'd.
Yes, they said you can kill your own assist trophy so that the others can't score points, which is hilarious.
Top 10 enemy betrayals.
Like, that's a MOBA strategy, actually, I think, because there's some MOBAs, I want to say Dota, that actually lets you kill the minions before your enemy can, so that they can't get the gold for it. Which is hilarious. But I love the idea of doing that, like shooting your teammate in the back of the head so that nobody else can score points. Imagine friendly fire like that in war.
The Rainbow Six strategy.
Yeah.
Shoot your teammates before the enemy can.
I'll save you, bang, bang, bang. What were we talking about?
Smash Brothers.
I know, but what were we talking about when we brought up the whole thing of KO-able assist trophies?
It started
Shao
with
Kahn.
Incineroar.
Shao Kahn, right. Shao Kahn could fit one of the, as one of those, and he'd have a couple moves. He'd have the hammer throw, he'd have the shoulder block, and of course he'd do his signature "You suck" taunt. What was the other taunt Shao Kahn had? He had "You suck," and what was the other one?
Face your destiny, I think.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
But yeah, I imagined him like a DLC character. Imagine Shao Kahn as a DLC character for Smash. Like his final
you're
Smash.
suggesting this like it's absurd, Addy. It's not.
But the thing is, like, how would they do the gore? That's what makes it absurd to me.
Well, they brought Scorpion into Injustice 1, and they brought Sub-Zero and Raiden into Injustice 2, and there was no blood or gore for them.
Right.
The Mortal Kombat characters don't need blood and gore. Like, Addy, Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe is a video game that exists, Addy.
But yeah, but I like to forget about that.
It doesn't change the fact that it exists. But yeah, so we got a lot of new assist trophies. There's some funny looking ones. Did you see one of them is Pong?
Pong?
Yeah, it's just Pong. There's a paddle on either side of the screen, and they're batting a ball between each other, and there's score numbers up on the top. I'd assume you can get hit by the ball or hit by the paddles too.
How do you KO Pong?
I don't think you can. I don't think it's one of the KO'ables.
Okay.
Because the thing is, they're still going with the everyone's here thing, right? And there's so many assist trophies you're not going to be able to KO. Like, good luck KOing the Nintendo, right?
Right. Yeah.
Let me go to the front of the screen. No, you know what? You know what would be the way you KO Nintendo? You get that rare KO on another player where they hit the front of the screen and it hits the Nintendo in the back of the head. They revealed that there will be a pre-order character. They're not calling it a pre-order character, largely because apparently if you buy it at launch, it'll be the same thing. But if you buy the game sometime around its release, you will get for free...
Piranha.
Not Petey Piranha. Piranha Plant. It's not. It's not even the unique PD Piranha, because PD Piranha gets summoned in the guy's Smash, Ultimate Smash.
Isn't the thing that he turns into PD Piranha?
He doesn't turn into it. He just summons it. You can see in the clip that he's actually not turning into it. He's still running around on the field.
Right.
Oh, I guess I didn't see it right then, because I thought that he turns into it, which is why I called him PD Piranha.
I think what it is he follows Piranha Plant around the ring, but he is not Piranha Plant. So it's kind of to avoid the whole thing with Fox and Falco, where when they turn into the tank, there's a good chance they'll just fall off the side of the stage. You know that?
Right.
I guess it's a way of avoiding that, so that if PD Piranha is too big and falls off the side, Piranha Plant doesn't get a fucking stock lost for it. But yeah, Piranha Plant. How about that for a fucking character?
What a surprise! It's like, you thought all those third-party characters were a surprise? No. This is the real deal right here. Nobody would have called Piranha Plant.
I love the fucking community was losing its shit because they thought for sure Banjo-Kazooie would be in it. And I'm just loving this, how they're all losing their shit and calling PD Piranha. Damn it, Addy, now you got me calling him PD Piranha. Piranha Plant. They're all declaring Piranha Plant is the worst character ever. And I'm like, do any of you guys remember Melee when they introduced Mr. Game & Watch? And it was like the most out of fucking nowhere's pick of like fucking who? What could you possibly do with that? And then Mr. Game & Watch is one of the most fun characters in the entire fucking game.
Yep.
Like I've told you guys about the story I've had before, where I was in the Smash tournament at my high school. Right. And there was the thing with the Mr. Game & Watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of hilarious instance would not occur without the bizarrety that is Mr. Game & Watch. So, even though Piranha Plant is the ultimate nobody of nobodies, I'm still happy to see he's in the game because he's so fucking weird.
Yeah. It's like, of everyone they've announced so far, I'm most stoked for Piranha Plant because he's so incredibly out there and his moveset looks so friggin' fun.
Yeah, he looks like his moveset's going to be a pain in the ass to get used to, but once you actually get used to it, he's going to have some crazy shit.
Right.
Like, I
noticed a lot of his attacks were, like, basically recycled from other characters, it seemed like, that we've seen so far.
I don't know.
And so, that actually makes me wonder if they, like, use Piranha Plant as, like, a base for testing moves, and that's why they're just releasing him as a character now.
That would be funny, but I don't know. The one where
he used Piranha Plant for development, and now we're just going to release him as a character because we like him so much.
That would be like that one fucking SmackDown versus Raw where you could play as Mr. Green and Mr. Red.
Right.
Yeah, it was 2010.
Yeah. I think
pre-order now for Sandbag.
I would. And you can't control him or anything. You just put your fucking controller down.
Yeah. And
so
if Ryu is in
the
game,
only controls you have are to stand him back up once he gets knocked down.
And if Ryu is in the game, then the game starts with Ryu carrying you.
Yeah.
Do you know, reference the Third Strike intro.
God. Alright, so, what was I going to say? Right, so, Piranha Plant, yeah, looks like he's got some really interesting stuff, particularly that spiky ball floating thing, and
Right.
What fucking move is it where he's going to be able to stay stationary and then suddenly leap out? Like, we see him do it, like, sideways at one point. And that
then he falls over.
Yeah. They confirmed that there will be a season pass with 5 DLC characters, and they legitimately fucking finally acknowledged the never ask me for anything ever again meme.
Yeah. Now they only need to acknowledge Oz and have freaking what's his face torch the place down.
Yeah. The game release, the final DLC character releases, they show the announcement trailer, the release trailer, and then it ends with him burning the place down and be like, all right, enjoy, because it's the last fucking one.
No, it's just it zooms out, like the serene studio environment is still there, and then it just slowly zooms out and everything's on fire.
Yeah.
As he says his goodbyes.
I'm imagining it's like spiteful goodbyes, like, goodbye, you shitbags.
Yeah.
So, they showed off a little bit of the online, and my main takeaway there is suicide penalties. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, isn't suicide enough of a penalty in itself?
Yeah, what's a suicide penalty?
If you suicide too many times in an online game, you get kicked.
Oh.
I guess that's because the way the system works, if you suicide, then it won't count as anyone's kill. So for some people, like, they suicide to reset their health bar without getting anyone else a kill. Which, I mean, yeah, that probably makes sense, but I feel like the alternative solution would just be, make it so that when you suicide, whoever last hit you gets a free kill.
Right. I feel like that's how they did it in the previous Smash, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
I normally do stock anyway, not the time. So it wouldn't have much impact on me personally, but I could have sworn that it was whoever last hit you, if you suicide, then that person gets a point.
Yeah, I'm also very much a stock person. I guess the idea is I guess they go with timer for online and pro matches to prevent it from running way too long. Because I've mentioned before the match I had in the tournament where it was me as Bowser and the other guy's Greninja, and he was keeping me out the entire time. And like, if that was not on time, that match would have gone forever. Because he was not dealing. It's one of those situations. He was not dealing enough damage, and I was not getting in. So that could have gone forever. So I suppose that's why they go with timer. But I still prefer stock.
Right.
But yeah, they showed off the replacement for the sticker feature, which I didn't get to play Wii U. What did it do? Something similar to Brawl's stickers?
I don't believe it did.
Right.
I'm actually fairly confident that it did not, because I don't recall anything sticker related.
Well, the sticker system is more or less back, but instead of being called stickers, they're now called spirits. And much like Brawl, it's going to be like, okay, everybody who didn't make the roster gets in this way.
That's how everyone's here.
Yeah. So it's just showing off, like, a lot of the obvious shit. Like, of course, we're going to see the Goomba. We're going to see, I don't know, random Zelda villains like Girahim, right?
Right.
And it became one of the most hilarious things I've ever seen, because they included, like, Metal Gear characters in there and Final Fantasy characters in there. The contrast between modern Metal Gear characters and modern Mario characters is beyond hilarious. Because at one point, like, there's a big selection of them, and it's got the Goomba, it's got Girahim, it's got, I don't know, the Octoroks it's got Metroids, all that, and it's fucking Kaz from Metal Gear, who's just a real-life dude, who's just a, like, nearly real-life looking dude. From fucking Phantom.
He's only here to suffer.
Yeah. And I've got this particular picture that I found amusing, but this is double purpose because I find it amusing, and also it's the spirit screen, so you guys will be able to get a good look at the spirit screen since you didn't watch the trailer. So, this is what the spirit screen looks like. But of course there's more text than just that.
Oh.
So they've got different stats, and the thing is that you get to apply one big spirit to each fighter that you choose for both story mode and for, like, the arcade modes, the spirit fight modes, I think. And you get to apply sub-spirits, spirits to your spirits. So I think good old Revolver Ocelot here is probably a big spirit, and you can apply smaller, shittier spirits like Goombas and Octoroks to him to make him even stronger, which then makes whatever fighter you pick stronger.
Yeah.
So that's your goofy... That's your goofy
I did
RP.
not fiddle with the sticker system of the Wii game, but I feel like that's how the stickers worked back then as well, where you applied it to your trophy of your fighter, and that'd make him stronger for some reason. But I never messed with it.
Yeah, I didn't mess around with it too much either, largely because of how weird it was.
Yeah.
Like, you applied the stickers based on how much actual real estate they took of the trophy, which was a weird idea. Like, it's not just fitting them into slots. You actually have to put the sticker on the trophy.
Right.
But I also love the idea of, like, now we can have Sonic powered by the ghost of Revolver Ocelot. It just gives him increased conspiracy skills. Supposedly, the spirit system will also be heavily tied to the story mode, which I believe you did see a little bit of, Pink.
Right.
So you saw...
So, just sorry for cutting in, but can we have Duck Hunt powered by dog meat?
I'd love to, but I don't think Bethesda'd sign on for it, I'm afraid. Could you imagine
Not
if we
enough
just
meat.
had the fucking
Not
dog?
enough more money.
Yeah.
What if Dog Meat himself is a downloadable character in that 5-pack we've got coming out?
Not even the Fallout or Skyrim main characters, it's just dog meat.
Yeah, just Dog Meat, the one that everyone really cares about.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get dog meat and you get Q.
Dog Meat with Rex as a clone or Echo.
Yeah, dog meat Rex and Q from Fallout 4.
His down smash is he just steps on a landmine. But you saw the story mode, and the story mode, as you observed, had where you go around the map and there's different little symbols, and it's like, hey, fight this guy. And this guy, you saw each one of them had a little side spirit.
Right.
So it looks like the spirit thing is going to function into story mode. And we also saw the story mode's pulling back a lot of the cool shit from Subspace Emissary. Like, did you see the crazy big purple mech boss?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, I remember that fight.
Did you see the amount of hands?
Yes, I did see that as well.
So many of them.
What got me was that they're all master hands. There was no crazy hands.
Right? Crazy Hand was off doing his own thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are there a thousand Are there 1,000 master hands and one crazy hand?
I kind of
never
hope.
know.
I kind of hope that's like for the final battle, like you have to fight all of the master hands, but it's not actually all of the master hands. You just form into being like Miyamoto or something, and it turns into a Bayonetta boss.
And Shigeru Miyamoto strips naked and makes a sexy pose at the end of the fight like Bayonetta does.
No, Miyamoto is the boss.
Oh! The master hands turn into Miyamoto.
Yeah.
And you can only fight him with Bayonetta because Bayonetta is the only one OP enough to fight him.
Yeah. No, you need to make a team of like Magneto, Cable, and Psylocke or whatever.
Yeah, that works too. So yeah, the explanation for the story is there's some grand cosmic force. So all the Nintendo characters were like, let's assemble the Avengers. And they got there, and Shulk was like, wait, guys, this is a bad idea. I can see the future, and we all get super fucked. But he doesn't get to say it before they all get super fucked.
Yeah, he saw like 80 million possible outcomes, and they only won in one.
Yeah. So yeah, then there's a montage of all the Nintendo characters getting super fucked. And first it starts off serious. We see, Bowser, Mario, Zelda, Samus, and Bayonetta all trying to fight back. Then it goes to Captain Falcon, who's like, fuck this shit, I'm out of here, but gets killed before he can reach his car.
And then we feature their dances.
Yeah, that's my favorite thing. When the joke ones where it's to Snake, and Snake's trying to hide in the box.
Right, I popped for that.
I found a really great joke one for that. I love the idea of Snake thinking the box is going to protect him. But let me grab the timestamp.
It protects me from enemy soldiers. It also should protect me from death lasers.
Like, when it first vaporized the box, I didn't even realize that was Snake. I had to like watch it back over. I was like, "What the heck was that?" Oh wait, that's Snake in a box.
It's my Snake in a box. Oh yeah.
That picture is awesome.
Colonel, the fuck's going on? Everyone's dying and shit. They even killed the fucking Inklings. Fucking kids. I love it. Someone mentioned that there should be a second part of the picture where you just see the laser envelops the Colonel.
Yeah. No, there's no receiving or giving end. There's just white.
Man, I wish it wouldn't have been Kirby that survived. I wish it would have been Snake that survived. That the cardboard box actually made it where the lasers couldn't find him.
Yeah. I like how Kirby survives both Subspace Emissary and this new story mode. It's like he always starts off as the main protagonist.
Isn't it Kirby and Smash made by the same development teams?
I'm pretty sure it is.
And isn't freaking, I always forget his name. What's the guy who directs these?
I also forgot his
Sakurai?
name. Sakurai, yes. Oh my god.
Sakurai. Right, isn't Sakurai like the guy who came up with Kirby or something?
Yes.
Probably.
So yeah, that's probably why he's the only one who survives these.
Yeah. Like, oh yeah, Kirby's the hero.
Yep.
If in
It was basically the end of Infinity War.
I was about to say, if somebody should make it so this is what happens to Spider-Man at the end of Infinity War.
No, none of the Mr. Stark stuff. Just take a picture from Homecoming of Peter sitting in class doing his schoolwork, and then the laser hits.
Right.
Bloody hell.
What if Thanos is one of the 5 DLC characters?
Oh my god.
Oh, no, Thanos is the guy who's making the Master Hands. Yeah, he does have the reality stone, so...
Yeah.
I did see a news article in passing where a journalist was trying to insist that it was Thanos, and I was like, you fucking idiot. Oh.
No, imagine the freaking... the swerve.
It would be the greatest example of cross-marketing ever.
Yeah.
Thanos is going to be appearing in all works of fiction until Infinity War Part 2, and in every one he kills everybody. It's going to be the next episode of Big Bang Theory, and Thanos just walks in.
Snaps his fingers and then the shoulder stands.
He snaps his fingers and Sheldon fades away while going, Buzzinga.
Yeah.
We wish.
I actually think The Office is done. Or The Office, the freaking Big Bang Theory.
I think they are on their last season, yeah. The secret ending of Red Dead 2. The secret ending of Red Dead Redemption 2. You thought the gang died off at the end of Red Dead Redemption 2 because John sold them out. No, Thanos killed all of them except for John, Bill, and Dutch, and Javi. Oh god. Oh man.
You tune into the latest episode of The Simpsons, and then Thanos just appears on the TV screen, and then there's no more Simpsons.
All my friends are dead.
But no, you need to do it with enough like, what's the word? I don't know, like anger. All my friends are dead.
Dead. My parents are dead. Oh man.
Kirby just looks so happy in that picture though. Maybe he's happy they're gone.
Or maybe just put in one of that freaking that copyrightless freaking like copyright free music that the children channels use, and it's just all my friends are dead.
Did you guys see the fucking meme that was tier list, and it's S tier Kirby, and then there's no other tiers.
I hadn't seen that. Kirby is the only one, the only survivor.
All Smash matches are just Kirby versus Kirby.
The thing is, the newest Smash is actually just a new Silent Hill game, and the story mode is Kirby going through Silent Hill for running away from his friends and not dying with them or something.
He's not haunted by Pyramid Head. He's haunted by the ghost of his dead friends.
Yeah. It's like For the Room, where the guy's victims showed up. It's that, but times 100.
Yeah. You just walk into a room and they all come out of the walls, and Kirby's like, "What the fuck?" So there's one last big takeaway I have from Smash. And Pink, I don't think you got to see this. So, how many characters were on the base roster at the start of, how many characters are unlocked and playable from the moment you start Wii U Smash? How many are unlocked? Did that game have...
Oh,
Did that
I
get...
don't know, because I feel like a good majority of them were unlocked to begin with, because I was really disappointed with that, because there were only like maybe 5 total that you had to unlock, and you unlocked all the characters really friggin' fast.
Okay, so I guess this is gonna make you excited. This makes me excited. It might make Addy excited. So we're all nostalgic for the era of PS2 when a game had shit tons of unlockables, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So there are 74 characters on this game's roster, right?
Right.
Guess how many you start
This-
with?
8.
8.
The original 8?
The original
Yeah.
8.
Nice.
Mario, Link, Samus, Captain Falcon, Ness, Luigi, Yoshi. Wait, were they the classic? What was the classic? Who were unlocked at the start of Smash 1? Did Smash 1 have...
Mario, Link,
Pikachu, I
Pikachu.
think.
Yeah.
Mario... Okay,
Uh,
so even the unlockable characters of Smash 1 are locked. Because it's Mario, Link, Pikachu, Samus, Donkey Kong...
Captain Falcon.
What's Captain...
No, Captain Falcon was locked in
Was he?
64. Yeah.
Captain Falcon, Luigi, and Ness were all definitely locked. Who else? There was another weird one like Ness. Was Fox available from the start in Smash 1? I feel like he was.
Oh,
Yeah. Fox was still relevant back then, so he wouldn't have needed to be locked.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like running through... Yoshi was unlocked at the start, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So that would have been 8, wouldn't it? Mario, Link, Samus, Donkey Kong, Pikachu, Fox, Yoshi. I'm counting on my fingers here because I'm an idiot.
here, let me count on my fingers.
Yeah, I think that's 8 characters. Watch, I miscounted on my
Smash
fingers. I'm so stupid.
Brothers, 64 starting characters. There we go. I counted on my.
Oh, we all missed
hands.
Kirby. We all missed Kirby. Of all fucking characters, we missed Kirby.
Oh, did we?
Yeah, that's 8.
Yeah,
That's funny. He's staring right at us.
it's Dong, Fox, Kirby, Link, Mario, Pikachu, Samus, and Yoshi.
Right, and Captain Falcon, Jigglypuff, Ness, and who else was locked? Luigi. So
Yeah.
yeah, those were the originals.
I love the Time Splitters-esque audacity of having fucking 60 locked characters. Where it's like, okay, good luck, fucker. And unlike Time Splitters, I'm actually decent enough at Smash that I'll probably, hopefully, be able to eventually unlock all of them.
The thing is, the thing is, each character is for each character you need to go to Ghost Battle like you do in freaking Tekken 7.
Well, I think how they're going to probably handle unlockables is they're probably going to handle it where every character's got 2 ways of unlocking, much in the same way Smash Brawl did.
I was trying to
Right.
make a joke about never getting the character you want, like you never got the piece of customization you wanted in Tekken 7.
Yeah, but it didn't really relate.
Yeah, there was a weird way in Mario Kart 8 that you had to unlock Baby Luigi, and I know that I never unlocked him because I couldn't do it.
Oh, does Mario Kart 8 have unlockable characters?
It did.
Okay, that's good because I'm probably going to get Mario Kart 8 with they're selling a bundle of Mario Kart 8 and Switch, I think. Because it was 8 that most recently got the big HD port to Switch, right?
Right.
Right. So that's when we'll probably end up getting. But yeah, I'm interested. Like, if it, I don't know, because if it's one of those cases where they're all unlockable through the story mode, I feel like I might not go through the story mode.
Yeah, because in Subspace Emissary, if you played that first, you can unlock everybody really quick, except for the side characters that weren't a part of the story.
Yeah.
So I would probably just stick to normal Smash with my siblings as well, because I like the excitement of that new challenger approaching screen popping up.
Yeah, I do too. Does it pop up in multiplayer?
Yes.
Oh my god, that's going to be a ton of fun. Because Smash is definitely a game that I'm going to play with the rest of my family. It's going to be like, oh, hey, guys, I bought this Smash game with 74 characters. And we open up the start screen, there's 8 characters, and they're all like, ah.
Yeah, I bought this game with 76 characters. Boots up online, it's all Kirby. Because everyone's dead.
How many of these Kirby's are Echo Fighters? None of them. It's just a different moveset for every weapon in the actual Kirby games.
Right? That'd be perfect.
No, they're all Kirby imitations of the other characters. It's Kirby as Mario, Kirby as Samus. Oh, did you see someone?
No, put it put it even further. It's Kirby being haunted by Mario and Samus.
Did you guys see the drawing somebody made of the potential what it would look like if Kirby ate the piranha plant?
No.
I haven't.
It's horrifying. He looks like the Eye of Cthulhu from Terraria.
I would imagine he'd be more like Plantera.
Kinda. Well, Plantera is basically just Eye of Cthulhu with vines, so. But, yeah, that's about it for news. Super Smash Ultimate sounds fucking amazing. It has solidly convinced me that my decision to get a Switch is a good idea. So, hey, Addy, what'd you do this past week?
Right, let's start with the shortest one. So I watched Deadpool.
The first Deadpool. Is it your first time watching it?
Yes.
It's better than you expect, isn't it?
Yeah, I watched it with my dad. So.
Yeah, Deadpool's not a movie.
I watched it in theaters with my dad.
I think we all watched it with family, and then coming out of the theater, we were like, we should not have watched that with family.
No, I warned him that there's a sex scene in it, and he was yelling about how it's okay. and then how I'm 18
That's what he
years old.
wanted to see. That's what he paid his ticket for.
Yeah, he paid to watch that woman fuck Ryan Reynolds in the ass.
No, he didn't even pay. It wasn't shown in the TV.
Yeah, they would totally cut that out of the TV edit. You are correct.
No, they actually didn't. Over here.
Wait, they didn't? I thought you said they did.
No.
Okay.
They showed it on the TV. They showed the whole movie on the TV.
Okay. Did they cut out the sex scene or did they not?
They didn't.
Did they cut out the part where she fucks Ryan in the ass?
I think they did.
Okay.
Or wait. They might have not. How much is shown?
Not very much. Well, kind of, but not, my memory's a bit shaky, but I definitely, she whispers in his ear and then it cuts to, like, him on all fours and she's behind him, but they don't really show it.
They showed that.
Okay.
They showed that.
Okay. But, yeah, it's, aside from that scene, it is a shockingly good movie for how much crap there is of Deadpool.
Yeah. The funny thing was the main antagonist is named Francis. Guess what my third name is.
Congratulations, you share a name with one of the worst comic book movie villains yet. Mr. Personality, we should call him.
In fairness, nobody forgets his name now.
I completely forgot his name was Francis. I was thinking of him as Ajax. Ajax is a difficult name to forget because it's the name of a fucking household cleaning product.
Right.
Yeah, not over here.
Okay, so that joke probably didn't carry the same weight in Hungary then?
Yeah. I mean, I think it was at one point, but not anymore. So...
You get budget Ajax now?
No,
Ajax the Lesser?
No, we get Tide and like Biopone and shit like that.
Yeah, Tide is the big money over here, I think. It's definitely more notable than Ajax.
The thing is, like, there's a couple of weird like cleaning agents that are basically stealing each other's logos.
They're all the fucking wave, so...
for us over here, there's like a specific L that the company Silen uses. And then there's another two that I think I know of. I think there's two is the thing. I don't remember. But that use the same L. And they're like Lauren and Lauren or something like that. But yeah. As for the movie, yeah, I liked it. The reference humor was a bit too much at points. Well, it's not even that it was too much. It was just too crammed in. Is my problem. But yeah, aside from that, it had some actually genuinely funny moments.
Yeah, I think the thing is, it knows when to be. It mostly knows when to be serious and when to be funny. Because that's the number one thing to worry about with Deadpool is too much focus on the comedy and not enough on anything else.
Yeah.
Right.
But the entire fight scene with Ajax on the boat, and pretty much that entire final fight scene is actually pretty good.
Yeah, I was really surprised by the inclusion of Colossus.
Colossus was a nice one to introduce because of how much he contrasts with Deadpool.
How much was Deadpool? You cut out.
How much he contrasts with Deadpool.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, Pink, you're the only one that's watched Deadpool 2, but isn't one of the major running gags of Deadpool 2 is Deadpool trying to get Colossus to curse?
Yes.
And I imagine...
Colossus is a big, nice guy, and Deadpool's that raving maniac.
I imagine by the end of the movie, Colossus gets frustrated and says, fuck, finally.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
the thing about I just remember the thing about the Ajax and Deadpool fight is that I'm a bit late on that, but I totally was going to look up a gif of it and just put Berserker versus Aramusha on it.
Okay, I'm curious because here's something that I thought was going to happen. My family thought was going to happen at the end of the Deadpool versus Ajax fight when Colossus is giving the big speech to Deadpool about not killing Ajax. Did you think that Colossus was just going to kill Ajax himself after giving the speech?
No.
Okay, for some reason, me and my family both thought that, like, Colossus would give the big speech and Deadpool would choose to spare Ajax, and then Colossus would kill him anyways and say, like, I was getting sick of him.
No, I knew for a fact that Deadpool was going to shoot him in the middle of the speech. That's just one of the cliches that I pick up on really fast. I guess I don't know.
I don't know. The guy being given a big speech about not killing and then killing the guy himself, anyways, feels like it's also kind of a comedy cliche.
I don't know. It's just a thing that I would write into a movie. Is the thing, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it is a funny thing when it happens. I personally think it would be funnier if Colossus, big, nice, huge, nice guy who talks about not killing, just gets sick of Ajax and kills him himself out of frustration would also be kind of funny. But at the same time, I recognize it would probably hurt Colossus' characterization, especially going into the second movie where he's still playing the straight man role.
Yeah.
Right.
Pink, by the way, is Cable in the second one?
Yes, he's the main villain of the second one.
Oh.
Kind of.
Okay, yeah, because they teased him in the like post-credit scene of the first one.
Yeah.
Which did Josh Brolin do a good job playing? Oh, by the way, it's Josh Brolin playing Cable, Addy, who is the same guy that plays Thanos.
Oh.
Yeah, he double dipped for Marvel roles. So, did he? I never actually bothered to ask Pink this question, and I'm currently busy multitasking several things right now. But did Josh Brolin do a good job as Cable?
I thought he did. I thought it was a very good portrayal of Cable. I felt like they didn't use Cable enough, personally. I would have liked to see a lot more, but for what they did give us, which was a decent amount anyway, I thought he was very good. I don't think I had any complaints about Josh Brolin as Cable.
I think when you introduce Cable nowadays, you can't really do too much with him because he's got such a bad reputation as the 90s anti-hero, you know?
Right.
Because, I mean, Punisher and Venom both had things about them that could translate to later generations. Like, Cable is so much 90s that modern...
Right.
Like, me as someone who's born in 98 and thus was mostly raised in the 2000s, I didn't understand what was supposed to be cool about Cable. So, it wore out its welcome very quickly.
Right.
It was very much a thing of that generation, so...
Oh, by the way, isn't Cable written with the L before the E?
No. I mean, yes.
Okay.
Cable is
it?
C-A-B-L-E. I thought you said L before the B, and I was like, no. He's not Calble.
Called. Yeah. But yeah, I found that weird because in the translation, because, you know, of course I watched it translated because they don't really show movies in English on the TV. But yeah, so in the translation, they called him Cable, like as in the word for cable.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I mean they call it freaking what would be the equivalent in English? Basically, they called him Line.
Yeah. I don't understand why he's named Cable, but he just is. Pink, do you remember why? You're more of a comic book expert than I am.
I have no idea why he's called Cable, to be honest. That's the question I've long wondered myself.
Someone like Rob Liefeld just heard the word cable and thought, that sounds cool. It's that same fucking school
That's
thought.
the thing that gives me TV. Let's name a character after that.
I'm pretty sure Rob Liefeld and Todd McFarlane named like half their characters on that train of thought of, it sounds like a vaguely cool word.
Cable is Cable because he inherited the name from that one guy who's in Marvel vs. Capcom 1.
You mean Cable?
No, the freaking the guy in the red suit with the like freaking let me look up the roster so I can figure out his name.
Do you mean Omega Red?
Yes, Omega Red.
I want to say Omega Red and Cable might be related in some way, but I'm totally wrong.
I don't believe they are.
No.
So Omega Red's always been a Wolverine villain.
I'd say if you wanted two characters that symbolize the downfall of the X-Men, though, you couldn't go wrong with Omega Red and Cable. Omega Red, hey, Wolverine's the star of the show now. Cable, hey, we don't know what to do, so let's do some time travel. Ugh. I spent like pretty.
Oh, yeah.
Do you ever have moments where like the existence of Bryan Singer's Fox X-Men, or the Foxmen, if you will, where their existence dawns on you, and what you think in your head for that day is, man, I'm pissed that Storm and Kitty Pryde got shafted in the favor of Wolverine and Cyclops.
Always.
Yeah.
But Cyclops didn't even get that big of a spotlight. Let's be honest. Now it was all Wolverine.
Well, Cyclops was the
Everybody got shafted in favor of Wolverine.
Cyclops' characterization got shafted.
Oh yeah.
He got his screen time as the villain, but he got his screen time. Cyclops, he didn't want Wolverine to fuck his girlfriend. What a villain. You won't let me fuck your girlfriend? You fucking heel. That sounds like an actual wrestling angle that probably happened at some point.
Probably.
I mean, Addy, you're not wrong.
I mean, you know, the small detail that the girlfriend was already dead.
Yeah. But, what was... Addy, did you do anything else other than watching Deadpool?
Yeah, I finished Yakuza 0,
Alright.
as we discussed previously.
So I think you're now just going through the side missions, right?
Yeah, the bulk of them, yeah.
Yeah, I tried to go through them my first time, but like, boy, there are some great ones there, aren't there?
Yeah. Did you do the one with the MLM?
I'm sorry?
The MLM.
You're gonna have to spell it out in the chat for me.
The pyramid scheme.
The pyramid scheme, yeah. Yes, but I think I cut it off way too early because I took the wrong choice. Where I think...
You took the which choice?
I want to say... whichever choice is the one that cuts off the plot line early, where either you tell the person to fuck off or you give them their money. Give them the money, either way. Whichever one cuts the plot line too early.
Well, there's no plot line. You give them money or you don't give them money. That's what happens.
Oh, that's all that happened?
Yeah.
Oh, I told them to fuck off.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do.
Alright.
So yeah.
But did you
did you try out the Mew shoes?
No, I haven't got to the shoes one yet.
You get the Mew shoes from that. From the pyramid scheme one.
Oh, okay. So no, I don't think I did. No.
Put them on sometime and put your audio to 100.
Oh no, does it make duck sounds when he walks?
Not duck sounds.
Something worse than duck sounds?
It's cats meowing.
Oh my god, that's amazing. I'm going to go do that. Imagine Kiryu walking up to beat some fucking thugs in an alley, and like,
hey,
they're mugging.
Hey, I can help you right now with that. I can put it on right now.
Oh no, I gotta do it myself. So there's like 3 thugs mugging some poor old lady in an alley, and they just hear from the other end of the alley, they hear the slow beat of meow, 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 and they're like, shit, it's Kiryu, run! He's gonna kick our asses. And I'm imagining him doing like all of his big signature kick heat moves, like where he kicks, drop kicks.
They don't work. They don't work then.
Oh, that sucks. I was imagining like it makes the big meow while he's drop kicking a guy through a window.
Yeah, that would be funny, but that's not what they did. What they did instead is that it only works in free shows, and I think it's supposed to multiply your money, but I didn't actually experience that, so I took him off because I was annoyed by the sound.
Oh, that's awesome.
So yeah, there's that. Which other like things to that for me? Side mission.
Did you do the director one where Kiryu has to be fill in as a director?
Yes, I did. I actually perfected that on the first try,
Really?
which should show you that I guess I freaking making films is actually in my blood or something.
It's your power.
Yeah.
My favorite part of that whole thing is that Kiryu is the least Hollywood person ever. So it's just too funny seeing Kiryu get put in that situation. A lot of them are really funny just because of Kiryu's straight lace. Oh my god, did you get to the fucking the dominatrix plotline?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's fun, isn't it?
Yeah. It is. First time according to the guide that I looked up, first time I messed up, but it worked out in the end.
I think
yeah.
I think that's one of those plot lines where it doesn't matter what you do as long as it's funny. Do it right, do it wrong, it's funny either way.
Did you try the Damned Yankee one?
I think I did start it. I don't know if I finished it. You're gonna have to describe it to me.
You meet up with a guy with the stereotypical like Japanese American hair, like the one that stands out in front, and it's just all hair gel. So you bump into a guy like that wearing like leather clothes or something like that. You bump into him, he acts tough for like a sentence, and then he apologizes greatly because whatever, he runs away.
The punk
then
band.
you meet, yeah, the punk band.
Yes, that one's a good one, and that one gives you a really good real estate agent as well.
Yeah, and I think I liked about that is that which options did you give them for speaking?
I think I mostly got a perfect. I might have fucked up one, but otherwise I got a perfect where they all acted like tough guys. Successfully.
Well, which ones did you choose? Because one of them is two of them is multi. One is just one.
It's been so long since it's been like definitely several months since I last played Yakuza 0, Addy, so I can't give you any answers.
But yeah, anyway, for the first guy, from my experience, the good ones, the guy recommended that you go with revolve your engines or whatever the hell. I on my first try went with speaking English. They just ate it up.
I did. I went with that too. I went with speak English, yeah. Because I figured that's probably a punk thing in Japan.
Yeah, and then for the second one, you can either choose to tell him to beat people up, or another one that you can choose, which the fans react to well, is making him say that he rescues puppies.
Oh, I don't know if I picked that one. I feel like I might have for comedy's sake, and then when it actually worked, I was like, oh, okay, sure.
Yeah, for the third guy, you just need to tell him to not speak at all.
Yeah. But yeah, that game is full of goofy, fun plot lines like that. I'm really fascinated once we get to Kiwami and we'll all get different results from similar goofy shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend a good half a minute right now just complaining about how the freaking PS Plus games are still not available.
You can do that, but it's been the way it's always been. It's on Tuesdays. Tuesdays when the first Tuesday of every month is when they drop. It's just unfortunate that this time Tuesday is the last. The fucking month started on a Wednesday. That's what's unfortunate. But you can go ahead and rant for a little bit because I just got biscuits, so I'm gonna eat some biscuits.
I don't actually need to rant. I just that was my rant.
I want an excuse for somebody to talk while I eat. Damn it! And I mute myself.
What else did I do? Right, I played because it's free. Well, it's free. It's free for the weekend. I played Just Cause 3.
Oh, how was that?
It's boring.
I believe it. I
So
know
just
somebody on the forum really like For Honor, just cause 2, but I heard like bad things about 3, if I recall.
yeah, so the thing about Just Cause is that it's a really good game if you like destruction and nothing else. So, being someone who like never actually spends time in GTA just blowing shit up for the sake of blowing shit up, that type of gameplay doesn't really interest me. The shovel that they bring in with Just Cause is an interesting one. I actually liked how you can zip line from here to there and then back, and you can just while zip lining you can go into wingsuit and parachute modes. But the thing is,
Right.
to upgrade any of this, you need to do challenges, and I dislike that because coming off of Yakuza 0, where the money you get can be used for food, can be used for medicine, and can be also used to make it so you're better. To being like, no, this all this stuff that you get is for jack shit. You need to do these stupid ass trials to be any better. And it's not. And the thing is, okay, that's a gameplay decision that they made. But the thing that I disliked about it is that there's like specific types of challenges that you need to do to get the points to actually be able to do shit or upgrade shit rather.
Right. So, what is the game like? Is it all just free play destruction, or is there some sort of story to it?
There is some sort of story, but it's not much. It's not much where I am, which is the start of the game. Because basically, all I've done so far is get dropped from an airplane, um, just sort of live through small battle, and then just get dropped into the part of the world where the game starts, and just do whatever the hell I want.
So there
Like
are no missions or anything like that?
there are missions. It's just that it works on a Ubisoft sort of deal. So you need to unlock different parts of the world, and then the missions come or something like that. I don't know.
Ah.
Like
Is
the
it like
first,
Forza was?
possibly. I'm not sure if I'm out of the tutorial yet or not.
Ah.
But yeah, it's only free,
Well,
free for the weekend, so who gives a shit?
yeah. You would think it would tell you if you're out of the tutorial, or it'd at least give you a sign.
Yeah.
Tutorials are normally pretty constrictive,
I'm in the middle of eating
and
biscuits.
for the most part, hopefully very short.
I'm in the middle
Another
of eating
thing,
biscuits right now. But I just want to chime in with a little bit. Just Cause is a series that shouldn't just give you automatic cheats, because it is a tech demo. It should just give you a sandbox cheat to turn you invincible and turn off the fucking cops.
yeah,
Because that's the kind of game where it solidly feels like the cops and the challenges and the unlockables and shit aren't there to motivate you to do things. They're there to tell you to stop having fun.
yeah,
There's a difference
yeah. I don't
between
disagree.
there's a difference between shit that's there to be like, oh hey, do this, it'll be fun, and shit that's there to stop you from having fun. I don't know. I'm in the same boat for like GTA 5, where the cops go too hard and way too hard in GTA 5, so they're more of a stop having fun kind of group. But whatever. I'll mute
Right.
myself
Yeah,
again when I get back to eating.
Yeah,
Yeah, no problem.
another thing is that this game actually does have a sandbox mode like that, but it's not actually in the world of the game. No, it's a separate small island, and you don't even get all of the upgrades. So
It's odd.
yeah. So there's that. I also played a bit of Battlefield 1 because that's free with gold, and
Oh.
it's Battlefield 1.
And what is Battlefield 1?
It's like World War One with guns and shit.
I see. Is that which developer is that? Is that like the ones that make Call of Duty, or is it the other one?
It's
That
the other one.
escapes
It's
me.
EA.
All right. EA does Oh, I guess it's Battlefield, right?
Yeah, it is.
That is obvious by the title. I'm just dumb. So EA does Battlefield. Who does the Call of Duty?
Activision.
Activision. Okay. I always mix those two together. For a long time, I didn't realize there was a difference between Call of Duty and Battlefield.
The only difference that I know of is that Battlefield has destructible environments and Call of Duty doesn't.
Ah.
By the way, if Davia would want to come back from eating because my time has run out, you need to insert five more quarters in to continue this call or whatever the hell. Not enough.
I can just talk about what I did this week, and you can go.
I'm fucking
see y'all.
juggling biscuits over here. So yeah. All right. So Battlefield is very different from Call of Duty. I was like sitting there cringing the entire time as I was eating biscuits. So
What are these morons doing to this sacred podcast?
You've played Star Wars Battlefront, right, Pink?
I have.
That's Battlefield.
All right.
Star Wars Battlefront is just Battlefield, but was set in the Star Wars setting. So unlike Call of Duty, where it's like, hey, throw 10 dudes in this little building and be like, oh, go kill each other for points, and that's it. Battlefield is more about, here's like 20 dudes on one side, 20 dudes on the other. Sometimes it gets crazy up to like 30 dudes on one side, 30 on the other. Set on this big, relatively wide open map, and it's more about capturing control points and getting kills.
Right, nice.
And there's vehicles, and there's artillery, and there's different classes. And unlike where Call of Duty, changing your class only changes the weapons and perks you get. Here it gives you specific abilities like med kits and, the ability to throw out ammo and all that.
Right. Yeah, I quite enjoyed Battlefront 2 way back when, so I like the sounds of Battlefield as opposed to Call of Duty better already.
Yeah. I'm in the
I
same...
was never one for the free-for-all death matches and whatnot.
I am in
Give
the
me
case
an
of...
objective and I'm happy. The death matches not my thing.
I can do deathmatch if it's like Halo or Time Splitters, where it's like, oh, hey, you get a shitty little pistol. Go find a gun. Or get...
So yeah, I'm gonna leave now. I'll leave you with this image.
All right. Oh no, limit timestamp. Oh, fuck me. You fucker. You fucking fucker.
You're welcome. Bye.
Goodbye, Addy.
All right. You know what dawns on me? We forgot to fucking say what's coming out in this coming week.
Oh, no.
That's based on Terraria. Bye.
Thank you, Addy.
Woo! One of my headphones just launched across the fucking... One of my earbuds just launched its fucking thing across the room. Oh, God. Oh,
It's gone.
I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it. All right, I got it. I'm going to fix it. I'm going to fix the thing. All right, I fixed it. Now it's covered in gross hairs from the floor. Oh, Jesus. It's cat hair. I'm going to have to stick it in my ear. Oh.
Your earbud tried to leave as Addy left.
Nah.
How amusing.
Okay, now you don't get to complain about me confusing you and Addie's names ever again. So, yeah, hey, there's going to be Dead Space. There's going to be Terraria. There's going to be a little bit of Scribblenauts. There's going to be, what else is there? I don't know. There might be Rainbow Six. I'm not exactly sure what the weight is on that. It could be a ways off. And, hey, we tried and failed to play Forza Horizon, and that'll be coming out in the coming week.
Oh, nice. I wasn't sure when that was going to come out. I was starting to think it wasn't going to come out.
It's actually uploaded right now. I just need to crack up the thumbnail.
Ah, nice.
But, yeah, that's what we got coming out on the channel. In terms of shit we've done, I've done a shit ton of stuff. Pink, have you done a shit ton of stuff?
I don't believe I have. I've done, like, maybe 2 notable things.
All right, what were those notable things?
Well, yesterday, I did get to see a little bit of Crown Jewel. I saw the beginning, missed out on some of the middle, and then watched most of the rest of the show.
All right, how was it?
Let me readjust in my chair because my cord's getting tingled. So, that event certainly happened. Can you hear me? Can I not
Yes,
hear
I
you?
can, but I missed what show it was because I was looking over news article sites to make sure there wasn't anything coming out as we recorded.
Oh yeah, no problem. It was Crown Jewel, the controversial WWE event.
Yes, where Hulk Hogan came out despite being huge racist. They decided to bring him out for the Saudi Arabian show.
Yeah, it was a very interesting choice. I guess they figured with all the controversy already surrounding it, why not just sneak Hogan in as well? Fly him under the radar.
Oh God. I heard the DX versus Brotherhood of Destruction match was absolutely god awful.
It was. It's like all four men have done far better matches probably within the past 5 years, except in Shawn Michaels' case, whose last match was 8 years ago, if I recall.
I believe so. Did Taker and Shawn die in the ring?
Shawn came close because he almost missed a moonsault and landed flat on his face.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Could you
There's
imagine?
a gif of it in the wrestling thread right now. I don't know if you've seen it yet, but Shawn did a moonsault to the outside to Taker and Kane, and those two guys were a bit too far away, so Shawn basically connected with his feet to their heads, and the rest of it did not connect whatsoever.
I did see that. It just dawned on me like, could you imagine if Shawn Michaels finally retired for his family, goes back for one last match, kills him?
Oh, wouldn't that be a story?
I'm getting flashbacks to the fucking wrestler with Mickey Rourke. Oh, a little bit of news. Apparently, the next Titanfall video game, Titanfall 3, is probably going to release by the end of 2019. I wish Addy was here for that because I think he's the only one here who's probably putting any time into Titanfall.
Yeah, probably. Like, I've heard of Titanfall, but I'm not quite sure what it is outside of maybe a first-person shooter.
I think
And
it
it's
was
something that I never got into or saw any gameplay of, to my knowledge.
the development team behind Modern Warfare 2. I think Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 skipped down to EA to make a mech first-person shooter, and they did that. And the first one was kind of a bomb, but the second one was supposed to be amazing.
Ah.
But anyways, keep going about the Crown Jewel. Were there any matches at all featuring any women?
No. None whatsoever.
Yep.
That was not allowed. Renee Young was on commentary, so that was very interesting.
Did the audience kill her?
No, thankfully.
Did the
At
audience
least
try to kill her?
I hope she's still alive.
Did the audience try to kill her as she was leaving the building?
I hope not.
Did the audience try to kill her as she was entering the building?
I hope not.
Has the government arrested her and sent her to a gulag?
It's certainly possible, but at this stage, I'm going to assume it has not happened.
Did Vince sell her to the Saudi Arabians for the Crown Jewel event?
Maybe that's where he got all the funding for the pyro.
All right.
So that event was basically a house show, but not nearly as good.
That's saying something.
It's like, for every WWE event, there's usually at least one match on the card that's really good. And granted, I missed out on probably 3 or 4 of them. I just don't think there was anything that memorable about the show. I don't think there were any really great matches or even good matches. Some of the notable highlights of the show was Shane McMahon winning a tournament that he was not even a part of because he substituted The Miz at the last minute and defeated Dolph Ziggler because we all know Shane really needed that win over Dolph.
Fuck Dolph Ziggler. If it were
What's
anyone
hilarious
else,
is Dolph and Drew McIntyre are teaming now, and it's basically just the modern version of DX, because Ziggler's always been the HBK light version, the sugar-free version. And then you've got Drew McIntyre who's making his comeback now, and he's basically the Triple H now.
yeah,
Like they're the wannabe DX.
I don't believe you on the Drew McIntyre part. Like Ziggler, I'll believe you because I didn't like Shawn either. So
I don't say this as a compliment. I mean, they're the knockoff store brand version of DX now.
Yeah, I get you. But yeah,
It was just a funny similarity I know.
I'm going through the Rolodex though, trying to think of like wrestlers that are known for putting on good matches now, and like about half the names I'm going through are women. So it's like, not her.
Right.
Did AJ Styles do anything big?
He faced Samoa Joe again, and they've had previous matches like within the past few months that were far better. The Samoa Joe AJ Styles match was just a retread and wasn't even really supposed to be part of the show because it was supposed to be Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles, but Bryan refused to take part in the event, so he stayed home and Samoa Joe replaced him. They had an all right match, but it was nothing special to write home about because they've previously, like just a month ago maybe, already culminated their feud and whatnot. And they've had much better matches than the one they had yesterday morning.
Would it have dawned on WWE to ask Daniel Bryan about the Saudi Arabia thing before they set up the match?
You would think, but apparently not.
Because I mean, like,
it's just a train wreck going into it.
Cena turned it down, but Cena's theorized to be a high-functioning sociopath, so odds are Cena probably turned it down just so he wouldn't hurt his publicity. Daniel Bryan is genuinely an individual who I think would turn down a massive payday just because he doesn't agree with it morally.
Right. He was a vegan at one point, so of course.
I think he still is, isn't he?
He wasn't for a point, but he might have gone back to it.
And I think, like, my mom watches that fucking Total Divas show, and she always tells me about how great he is, and apparently he shits in his lawn. Because it's a compost or whatever, you know?
Yeah, natural fertilizer.
Why go to the store and buy cow fertilizer when you've got some in you?
How strange.
Yeah. Well, I think Daniel Bryan probably lives and breathes and bleeds strange.
Yeah. He's from Washington, so.
Yeah. He dates Brie. He's married to Brie Bella. He has to be weird.
Yep.
Only a completely insane man would make that choice. I like being mean to them.
Even Ceno's smart enough to leave.
With Cena, I think he probably just moved on to the next conquest.
Right. Crown Jewel was very disappointing overall. No good matches on the show, which is incredible when you've got a show with AJ Styles and Seth Rollins on it. And, I like Ziggler. I'll give him credit. He's put on good matches in the past, but...
Didn't during their feud, AJ Styles and Samoa Joe pretty much just printed 5-star matches?
Yeah. It was amazing because Samoa Joe has just been downright terrible for the past decade now. He hasn't had a good match since 2008. But I guess they've worked together so often back in TNA that they can just basically go out and do their thing, and it'll be great no matter what. Even with all of Joe's limitations.
Can Styles even lift, Joe?
Barely.
Yeah.
It's like he tried to do that fireman's carry neckbreaker thing that he does, but it was basically an attitude adjustment when he did it. The baby one.
I love it.
So, beyond Crown Jewel, I went back to Overwatch for the first time in several months. I was moving around a lot between, February, and only ever got a little bit of playtime every now and again in Overwatch since that time. And I had kind of fallen out of it because at that point I had gotten into Rainbow Six and Smite, which I found much more compelling. Because unlike Overwatch, where I knew everything and I knew what to do and what situations and which characters to play, with these new games that I was playing, it was all about learning, so I was much more invested in doing that. Because it's a lot more fun to learn a game than it is to go and basically retread the same basic steps over and over and over again. So going back to Overwatch at this point, and there have been so many patches and nerfs and buffs, and Mercy is probably still terrible, which is one of the reasons I probably left.
Yeah.
So with all the buffs and nerfs and whatnot that they've introduced, it's a lot different now. So there's a lot more for me to learn again. And it was fun. I was playing it yesterday, and I was like, I can't believe I ever fell out of love with this game. What happened? And then the very next map was Lunar Colony. I was like, oh, that's what happened. Let me stop playing this again.
I've never seen that map.
Like, I'm pretty sure it's gotten a rework as well at this point. Like, Horizon Lunar Colony, I just cannot stand that map. It's just too weird for me. It's like there are a lot of tight quarters, but also a lot of open space, and I don't like the overall layout and design of it. They put like plants in there now as an aesthetic thing. I don't know when that happened. And I was kind of weirded out because I was running out to the battlefield, and then I saw a big ass palm tree. I was like, what the heck? And all my teammates were looking at me strange for looking at this tall plant strange, but you know, it was what it was.
Hey, that actually makes a ton of sense if you want to put oxygen on the moon. Hey.
Yeah, makes perfect sense. It's like they had their own little gardens and a bunch of palm trees in there. I don't know what they were doing, but I appreciate them for it.
Are they going to turn the moon into a tropical paradise?
Maybe.
That's
Maybe that was Hammond's plan all along.
Holy shit.
But in line with Overwatch news, I did get to see their newly released character, or
she's not
characters
released yet,
in shorts.
She's not released yet, is she?
Not released. They announced her. I was misspeaking there. I watched their reveal trailers and their reunion short, which introduced Ash. And I think this is the first DPS they released since Sombra, who came out like a couple years ago, maybe.
Is she going to be offense or defense? Because she is a sniper,
Offense.
right?
Yeah.
But she's a sniper.
The way they've rearranged the categories, there's no longer a defense position.
Right.
You've got damage, tank, and support.
Right. And I actually really like that change.
Right.
Which makes it embarrassing that I forgot about it.
It's like, I wasn't sure what Ash was supposed to be at first, because initially I was like, oh, it's a sniper character, but the more it progressed in the trailer, I was like, what is this supposed to be? This is like a hybrid character of some sort.
Well, I think the shotgun is very clearly supposed to be a dual purpose. Like, it's simultaneously the way to get people away from you so that you can headshot them, because at close range it's bad, but also it's her equivalent of Widowmaker's, grappling hook and Hanzo's
right
line.
Yeah.
Which leaves Ana as still the only sniper with no real means of mobility.
Yep. Like, with the sleep dart, I suppose Ana doesn't need an escape option unless you're a bad aim, which I am, unfortunately, so I'll probably be dying a lot as Ana still. But, I mean, if you can hide up a tank's butt, you should be fine.
The thing I find amusing about her getaway skill being a shotgun is, it's probably still not going to deal much damage.
No, probably not.
Because it's still a getaway skill, which is going to be hilarious shooting somebody at point blank with a double-barrel sawed-off shotgun and it deals almost no damage.
Yeah, no damage, but pushes them back like a mile.
Yeah.
So pretty humorous. I did see that you can use it to, like, rocket boost yourself, much in the way Pharah does. So that should be fun.
Well, hopefully it's going to be a lot more consistent than Pharah's.
Right.
It reminds me a lot of Junkrat's landmines, really. In terms of just, okay, shoot at the floor to propel yourself into the fucking ceiling. But I am interested with the way her rifle is going to work, since it's a repeater, which kind of implies that, well, it seems to me like it's going to fire a lot faster than, say Widowmaker's, bolt action rifle, which is a little bit more awkward. So I'm curious if, like, to make up for the fact that it won't have the assault rifle form like Widowmaker's sniper rifle does, I'm curious if it'll make it more, make it where she's less capable of...
Oh, crap, I can't hear you.
Make it so that she's Can you seriously not hear me? Oh, my God. Well,
I'm back.
Alright, so I just went on a big thing. Oh, God, I'm having to readjust my ass. So, I was going on a whole big thing about how since a lever action rifle... it will fire faster than, say, Widowmaker's bolt-action form on her rifle, but at the same time it will fire slower than her assault rifle form.
Right.
It'll probably be a comfortable in-between, but what I'm thinking there is this their way of, like, implementing a character that can get headshots without the scope? Is this your no-scope character? I mean, there's Hanzo, but fuck Hanzo.
Yeah. One thing that I don't like about the new submission, now that you've mentioned headshots, is her little orb thing.
Don't tell me it can get headshots.
It doesn't get headshots. That's what really disturbs me, because it feels like no matter how much you charge it or whatnot, it feels like the power level is always the same. So it feels rather unexciting. So I still don't like her secondary fire, and I stick with her primary.
I don't think the secondary fire was ever really meant to be that meaningful. Like, I think with the secondary fire, the primary purpose was always just, it's a way to get around Reinhardt's shield, right?
Right.
So, I mean, as long as they're just sticking with that, then by all means. Because, I mean, it also travels super fucking slow, so you're rarely, if ever, going to actually hit anybody with it. If you get a headshot with that thing, you should just win the game instantly. Because the guy would have to be able to fucking see it coming and be like, oh no! It's like the fucking, steamroller bit from Austin Powers. Which one? I don't know which Austin Powers movie. I've never actually watched any of them. But I'm going to keep talking until Pink gets back, because Pink's internet is absolutely dying.
So yeah, my internet just turned off itself there for a second. I don't know why. But I'm back.
Yeah. But I am curious about two things. The first thing I want to ask is, have they actually revealed how she'll play, or are we just piecing together from the various trailers?
There is gameplay videos out right now. They've allowed whoever they have, the pros and whatnot at BlizzCon right now to play the character. So we do have lots of gameplay footage of her. Okay. So we do know how she'll be playing.
Okay, how's the robot work?
The robot is her ultimate, and once you activate it, he'll spawn in for like 8 seconds and wreak havoc, and then he's gone.
But didn't McCree kick his ass in the fucking trailer?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's a great ult there. He gets his ass kicked by McCree.
Poor Bob.
So I assume he's just a separate AI that goes off and does his own thing?
Yes.
On one hand, that sounds neat, because none of them have really done that so far. On the other hand, an ult that you can't guide sounds risky.
Yeah, it's very unique, which I appreciate, but there is that element of, I can't control this, so I don't know how much I would trust it, because what if Bob just decides to go off and do whatever he wants when I'm really wanting him to attack that little squishy guy over in the corner?
What if you want Bob
to... If I throw Bob out, what if he tries to take on a tank when I'm really wanting him to take on the DPS behind the tank?
Well, I'd say he's probably pretty good for getting the tank distracted while you focus on the DPS.
Right.
What I was thinking was, what if you set him out to go after the Reinhardt with a shield charging down your shit, and instead he decides to go after the fucking Tracer that's sitting sitting in the fucking back alley waiting on a health spawn, right? Yeah.
What if he tries to go after a Pharaoh? What's going to happen then? Can Bob fly?
No, but he's got machine guns in his wrists, so Farah gets fucked as usual.
Poor kid.
Justice reigns from My favorite isn't even when she does the dying scream in the middle of it. It's when it just suddenly stops. Justice reigns from...
Yep.
She has the little noise, and that's all you get.
How anticlimactic.
It's rare, but it's also good when you get it with McCree. It's high nut. But I am curious to hear one last bit from the Overwatch, and from your little playtime. Has Wrecking Ball actually shook up the meta, or is he just another one for the pile of goofy but too weird to actually include?
I don't think he's shaken up the meta whatsoever. Orisa and Reinhardt are still the go-to tanks.
Alright, that's what I figured.
Like,
the actual
Wrecking Ball is probably a novelty pick for the higher-ups and anyone who hasn't played him yet and wants to play him like I did the other day. Like, I just don't think he's that good of a tank right now.
That's what I was about to ask. Is he a goofy pick like Sombra or Farah or something? You know,
Right.
like you pick it when you're dicking around.
Right. It's like there's probably some very professional way to play Wrecking Ball that I'm just not getting. But as of right now, if I'm gonna go with a tank, I'm gonna go with somebody effective and not try to do nonsense with the Wrecking Ball.
What I would say is he's probably the character that's there for crazy people that play no other character except Wrecking Ball are probably absurdly good, unstoppable, moving wheels of death. And it's great to have one of those on your team, but otherwise people don't play Wrecking Ball because it's like with his crazy shit with the Spider-Man swinging, it's like he's playing an entirely different game from everybody else.
Right.
Which I love. I love the idea of introducing entirely different characters. If we can stick with that idea, then who knows what kind of crazy game Overwatch could turn into.
Absolutely. It's like that's one of the few things that I fear for the future of Overwatch. What happens when we start running out of ideas for unique characters and everybody just becomes Soldier 76? It's like the more unique you can be with your character, the better.
I like Ash's character design, but she's like on that note, she's pretty generic with the way her moveset works outside of the summon on her roll.
Right.
And the ability to throw dynamite and shoot it. That's actually a really novel concept. I like that.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Was there much else other than that?
I don't believe there was.
All right. So, I've watched 3 fucking movies this week.
Oh, how exciting. What were they?
So, first on Wednesday, on Halloween night, I went out and watched the new Halloween movie.
And
it's...
What is that one about?
Well, guess it's a Halloween movie, so it's about Michael Myers goes and kills people.
All right. I've never seen a Halloween movie.
Okay, so the first Halloween movie was effectively considered the original slasher flick, though technically Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Black Christmas came before it, but people don't really consider them because they weren't as popular. The first Halloween was really the first big popular one. It had Jamie Lee Curtis, and she was kind of big at the time because she was the daughter of famous movie stars Thomas Curtis and Janet Leigh, I believe.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah, and Janet Leigh was famous because she was the main character for the first half of Psycho. She's famous for being, when you think of the iconic Psycho moment where there's the stabbing in the shower.
Right.
She's the woman in the shower getting stabbed.
Ah.
So, at the time it was like, oh, holy shit, it's the daughter of the chick who got stabbed in Psycho, and she's doing a horror movie like her mom did. And it was directed by John Carpenter, who later went on to direct The Thing, They Live, Big Trouble in Little China, Escape from New York, Escape from Los Angeles. Basically, John Carpenter is one of those directors who printed out a shit ton of cult classics, but never really made it big himself.
Yeah.
Because, out of that list of movies, everyone's got one of those movies that they've watched and loved, and the rest they haven't, right?
Right, and at least everybody knows those movies.
Right.
In some way or another.
Like, I personally have, out of those movies, the first time I saw a John Carpenter movie was I watched The Thing for the first time a month or 2 ago, and I came on the podcast and talked about it. So hopefully I'll get around to watching the rest, because so far he's a pretty fucking good director. And the whole thing was, Michael Myers, hey, he was 8 years old, and he was a trick-or-treater, and he murdered the shit out of his older sister. And then it cuts forward to 20 years later when he comes back again on the Halloween, and now he's like a full-on serial killer. And Jamie Lee Curtis plays a babysitter, which is part of the establishing of the horror trope of, oh, we've got a bunch of dipshit teens, they're babysitters. And so Michael Myers comes in, he murders all of Jamie Lee Curtis's friends, but Jamie Lee Curtis, chucks him out a window, and then he gets taken in by the police, and that's it. This is the sequel that is set 40 years later. And they are ignoring every Halloween movie, every sequel that Halloween ever got. It's just straight from Halloween 1 to Halloween whatever this one is. Halloween 2018, we'll call it. Which is annoying because they just gave it the exact same fucking title, so you gotta call it Halloween 2018. That bugs me.
Yeah.
But Jamie Lee Curtis is back, and Jamie Lee Curtis is trying her most to look like a grandma, which is amusing because there is one particular shot where it shows her like training to fight Michael Myers, and she's wearing a tank top, and even though she's trying to look like this old grandma, she's very clearly got like killer biceps and shoulders. It's like, oh yeah, grandma, I'm gonna beat the shit out of him with your bare fucking hands, why don't you? So the movie plays with a lot of the stuff of the first movie that I don't really want to spoil, but at the same time, it's kind of part of the fun aspect of it. But much of the early half of the movie is very much in alignment with the classic slasher movie concept of the killer works his way through a various list of victims, right?
Right.
Michael does not fucking take any shit from anybody. Let me tell you. That is the most efficient killer I've ever seen on film. What would you wager is probably a good body count for a film horror villain, a slasher movie?
So you've got the main cast and then some side characters, so about 6?
Yeah, 6 or 8. 6 or 8's a good number. Michael kills 16 fucking people in this movie. He is just a killing machine throughout this entire movie. There's a subplot they set up these two characters. It's like they do that thing where they set up 3 different sets of characters who are all going through different things, right?
Right.
Who are each going through their own subplots. The movie, like, about 20 minutes into the movie, one of the subplots just stops because Michael fucking killed both of them. Both of the characters going through that subplot. So
no subplot for you.
We'll just go ahead and say, from the rest of the podcast, there are spoilers for Halloween 2018, The Birdcage, and what else did I watch? Oh, The Fly. David Cronenberg's The Fly. So those are the 3 movies I've watched. So if you don't want to get spoiled on them, or Red Dead Redemption 2, then stop watching here. But, so the movie starts off, we see 2 journalists who are investigating Michael as part of a whole piece on serial killers, right?
Right.
And they reveal to Michael that they have his mask, his old William Shatner mask. Which, by the way, did you know Michael Myers' mask is just a fucking William Shatner mask?
I had no idea.
Yeah, it's just a William Shatner mask dyed white with bleach.
That's hilarious to me. This psycho serial killer is going around murdering people, as will Shatner.
I love the audacity of it. So, Michael Myers gets out of prison under suspicious circumstances, and he kills one of the guards on the bus, and then a father and son who are out hunting stumble upon the area. Michael kills the father. The son goes onto the bus where there is one person who has survived Michael's massacre, the prison's therapist, or psychiatrist, who the son accidentally shoots with a gun because he got spooked. And it's actually kind of hilarious because it's such a blunder to see the kid get on and shoot the shit out of the fucking psychiatrist. And then Michael kills the son, which is kind of shocking because the son was only like 10 years old. That they had the balls to show on screen Michael murder a 10-year-old boy. And then Michael hunts down the 2 journalists to a gas station, kills the mechanic at the gas station, kills the front desk worker at the gas station, and then traps the 2 journalists in the bathroom and kills the shit out of them. Up to that point, the journalists had been made out to be main characters. So Michael just fucking killing them in the bathroom is like, whoa. He kills one guy by smashing his skull into the wall repeatedly, which is brutal. But there's a thing I should note about this movie. Slashers were always... A large part of what killed slashers was the criticism that they're ultimately violence porn, right? Torture porn, gore porn, what have you. This movie, it shows it shows quite a bit of violence. It never glorifies it. It's weird. The camera angle is conducted in such a way, it never is like, holy shit, what a cool way Michael killed that guy, or any of that, like you would see with Jason. It's very much matter-of-factly conducted as, oh, Michael killed that guy. It never really feels like the camera work is saying that there's anything notable about it. Michael just fucking stomped that guy's skull in. That's all that happened.
Right.
So it feels like they're a little bit wary of getting into that gore porn, torture porn thing.
Yeah.
And it also, you can tell it's produced by Blumhouse. Blumhouse pretty much rules modern horror. They're primarily famous for making all these stupid fucking ghost movies like The Conjuring and Poltergeist, which are really fucking easy on your special effects budget because there's no monster. just be like, oh, there's a spooky person in the doorway wearing a white dress. No, that's the movie, right? Now, the thing about murdering the shit out of somebody on screen is you gotta show the corpse and you gotta go through the special effects work to show somebody getting their brains beaten out, right?
Right.
Right, so, like, legitimately half of Michael's kills happen off screen. We see the corpse, but we don't see what... And, like, a lot of them are like, oh, this chick got the shit stabbed out of her. Oh, this guy got impaled onto the wall. Oh, this guy got his jaw smashed off with a hammer. And that's all we see. We don't see Michael do it. Which, I mean, not to go back to the gore porn, torture porn thing, but when you go into a slasher movie, you kind of expect to see big kills. So it does feel a little bit like you're getting cheated when you don't, right?
Right.
But maybe it's just that Mortal Kombat mentality of, I want to see people get killed in really gruesome ways. That's my idea of entertainment. I don't actually, but, you know, whatever. So, but near the movie, into the movie, it plays with some fun stuff. Largely through the fact that Jamie Lee Curtis's character has spent the last 40 years preparing for Michael to come back, because she's paranoid and fucking crazy, and has turned her house into a crazy fortress, and she's got like 1,000 guns all over the fucking property. And she's also covered the property in creepy-ass mannequins, because she was using some of them as target practice. But there's a frankly absurd amount of them. Like, when the journalists get to her front door, like, she's got a gate that you can only be let in if you phone in, right? You know, the ones with the little voice comm at the start. And it's all covered in mannequins. They go down her front driveway, all covered in mannequins. Front of the house, covered in mannequins. Her backyard is... Okay, so you remember in... You know the FBI fort map in Rainbow Six Siege, where there's the tire field where the FBI trainees are supposed to go through the tire? It looks like It looks like she built a fucking obstacle field out of mannequins in her backyard. And they go inside the house. Guess what? 2 or 3 rooms in the house are devoted entirely to mannequin storage.
How odd.
So it feels like they're subtly trying to make Jamie Lee Curtis herself creepy as hell, because she just does this. Maybe it's supposed to be a thing since the mannequins have a similar white, emotionless face to Michael. I don't know. But, like, Ted, our mutual friend Ted, said that the movie turns from a slasher film to Home Alone. And he's accurate. Because much of the latter half of the movie is Michael trying to get into this fucking fortress of a home. And it's very much a back and forth between Laurie. Eventually he gets the upper hand, tosses Jamie Lee Curtis out the window. Here's the thing. The first Halloween movie, Michael gets tossed out a window, and it looks like that's what finally killed him until one of the characters looks down and sees that his body has disappeared. They do the exact same thing in reverse here, where Michael throws Jamie Lee Curtis out the window and he thinks he's finally killed her. He looks down and sees she's gone.
Yeah.
Which was a neat bit. And then later in the movie, to add on to that, when Michael was just about to close in on Jamie Lee Curtis's granddaughter and daughter to kill them in Jamie Lee Curtis's place since she disappeared, legitimately they imitate the exact same iconic shot from Halloween where Michael comes in and you see his face and his knife shine in the dark.
Right.
They imitate the exact same shot, except it's Jamie Lee Curtis sneaking up on Michael.
Yeah.
And she stabs him in the back. It wasn't a scary movie by any means, but I think Michael Myers will always have issues with modern audiences because or at least with people like me, because he's just a dude.
Right. And to top it off, now he's just a dude in a William Shatner mask.
Yeah. I don't know. William Shatner's pretty scary, Pink. They hint a couple points. They hint at him being supernatural, but they never really go through with it. So it's tangible. Like the fact that more or less the ending of the movie is what remains of the main cast shooting and stabbing the shit out of him really brings to fore the fact that he's just a dude, right?
Right.
The ending is kind of a cop-out because Michael gets the absolute shit kicked out of him. He loses his fingers, he gets shot in the neck, shot in the shoulder, stabbed in the back, lit on fire, and he still lives. But at the same time, I'm sure they want sequels, so, you know.
Right.
The movie, I'll praise it definitely. There's very minimal use of jump scares related to Michael himself. The movie's got a weird thing where there's a shit ton of jump scares, But anytime there's a jump scare, it's not actually anything scary. It's always the stupid fucking. I call it the Pop-Tart scare because the Silent Hill movie, the sequel to the Silent Hill movie, had a jump scare that's a Pop-Tart going out of a toaster. And when I say Pop-Tart scare, I mean meaningless scares that are just there because there's somebody at some point thought it would be funny to have a jump scare of nothing.
Right.
The entire first half of this movie is Pop-Tart scare the movie. So you gotta be ready for tons of those, but Michael himself doesn't actually do really that many jump scares, which is nice. And ultimately, I'll get on this movie for a lot of things. Thank God it's not another fucking Poltergeist or Conjuring. Because that shit has killed the horror genre for me. Like, I could not be more sick of that crap. I'm beyond glad to see an actual... It's weird to say that it's being original when it goes back to doing slashers, right? Because once upon a time, slashers were the derivative derivative genre in horror. And now they're original.
Yep, because nowadays you got all those supernatural movies coming out bi-monthly.
Bi-monthly?
Each one prays this is the scariest movie in years. Years, they say.
Oh, yeah. And it's always the something, and it's the ambiguous word, right? To try and sound creepy. Ugh. I'm hoping that this and it and what's the other slasher movie that's coming out soon? I hope these indicate somewhat of a death for the ghost movie, you know?
Right.
I mean, even fucking Robert Englund has said that he's interested in coming back to play Freddy Krueger again. And I would have never thought Freddy Krueger would come back. So on to a bit more of a horror movie that I don't think will bore the shit out of you. The David Cronenberg's The Fly. Have you ever watched The Fly?
I have not.
Okay, but you do know about naked Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah.
There's a lot of naked Jeff Goldblum in that movie. And throughout the entire front half of that movie, I've always been a person who never really understood what it was about Jeff Goldblum, why everybody loved him. I always figured it was one of those like Nicolas Cage type reverse psychology jokes, where everybody jokes about Jeff Goldblum being a great actor because he's terrible. And throughout most of the front half of the movie, yeah, it's Jeff Goldblum being Jeff Goldblum. He's Jeff Goldbluming it up. And my God, there's a lot of sex in that movie. Like, he and the love... Like, you know those fucking movies where they wait too long for the main character and the love interest to get together, and you're like, please just get on with it, get this out of the way?
Right.
Yeah, this movie don't bother with that. Movie fucking kicks up, and they are getting it on all the time. So that's there. And then, of course, the actual incident happens where he steps into the teleporter with the fly. The teleporter gets confused, mixes them into the same person, and he starts slowly, over time, transforming into a fly. Because the idea is that the teleporter mixed his genes together with the fly's, so that through the process of cellular replication, his cells are slowly being replaced by fly cells, or half-human, half-fly cells, right?
Right.
Which I appreciated that they actually handled it, like, trying to observe some degree of science in that regard. And, like, it's particularly notable that at one point he gets a big cut on his back, and that's the first part to turn into a kind of fly, turn half human, half fly, because those were the first cells that would need to be replicated, right?
Right.
So I appreciated that. And holy shit, for me to have not liked Jeff Goldblum's acting throughout the entire first half, Jeff Goldblum does an excellent job portraying a fly. Like, Roger Ebert directly said that Jeff Goldblum got fucking cheated out of a Best Actor Oscar for that movie, and I can't believe I would ever say this, but yeah, Jeff Goldblum probably deserved an Oscar for that. He does an incredible job. You know how fucking creepy his performance is as a fly?
I have no idea. I've never seen the movie.
I am fairly for certain a good part of Heath Ledger's Joker performance was inspired by Jeff Goldblum's fly performance. All that kind of weird twitching and the licking the lips. Jeff Goldblum spends the entire part of this movie fucking licking his lips. And the makeup is some of the absolute best I've seen in film. Like, it dawns on me, like, I'm watching this a couple weeks after I watched Elephant Man, and it dawns on me, they don't really do big makeup work anymore, do they?
Not really.
Not on the level of Elephant Man or The Fly, that's absolutely for sure, where they just outright transformed actors into entirely different things.
Right.
And they also, at one point, make good use of the famous, I think they actually got the same guy that did the same special effect. But you know the effect from Indiana Jones and the Ark of the Covenant, or what was it? I wanted to call it Indiana Jones and the Ark of the Covenant, but that's not it. You're more of an indie fan than me, help. The first one. Pink? Pink! Pink! Okay, yeah, the first Indiana Jones movie. I'll keep talking for the audience here. Because evidently Pink's just entirely died. So, while I also try to message him in the... Okay, there we go. He's trying to fix it. Okay. But yes, the effect from the first Indiana Jones movie, and I believe they got the same guy to do it. You know the bit, Pink, where where they open the Ark of the Covenant and they all get something horrible happen to them?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know the one with the glasses and the wide-brimmed hat that melts?
Yeah.
Yeah, they use that same effect to good use. Because at one point, he spits vomit, corrosive acid all over somebody, and like they use that same effect, and it's pretty good. I'd say that was definitely a very fun horror movie. I see why people love it. I wouldn't say it's as amazing as everybody else does, but it's still a pretty good horror movie, and I can definitely see where everybody says, like, David Cronenberg is one of the best when it comes to practical special effects, because holy shit, that movie. I want to say he's also responsible for that. You've seen the famous internet gif of the dude's head exploding, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was also David Cronenberg. Guy's head became chilly. And the last movie I've watched was, what did I say? The Birdcage. Right, The Birdcage. So have you heard of The Birdcage? Because something tells me you probably haven't watched it.
Nope, I've never heard of it.
Alright, so this is one of those movies where you hear about the concept, and the concept sounds fun. So, the movie is about Robin Williams and Nathan Lane play a gay couple that owns a gay joint, a gay club in South Beach, Miami. And their son comes home to reveal to them that he has gotten engaged to a woman who is the daughter of a conservative politician. And so they need to now get the wedding on, and now the gay parents need to, for the benefit of their son, try and act as straight as possible to make sure that the wedding goes off without a hitch. The issue is Nathan Lane's character is a well-known drag queen, so her idea of acting as straight as possible is to act like a straight woman. So much of the first half of the movie is based around more or less their preparations for it, turning the apartment they live in on top of the club from a very stereotypical homosexual idea of where a homosexual would live in the 1990s, so there's lots of penises everywhere. And Robin Williams, who is of course gay, but is trying to teach his husband how to act like a straight man throughout the entire thing, because Nathan Lane's character is about as camp as gay can possibly get, right? And they have a lot of fun with that, and then they actually have a really, like, heartfelt thing about, like, gay, about how they love each other and all that, and it's this really neat thing. And then the latter half of the movie comes from the... I forgot to mention, you know who the conservative politician is played by?
Who?
Gene fucking Hackman. So they have a lot of fun with Gene Hackman as a conservative politician who is now having dinner...
Gosh darn it, did my thing cut out?
Yeah, it did cut out.
I asked who. I'll never get an answer.
Gene Hackman. Gene Hackman. Pink, you fucker. Gene fucking Hackman. Oh, God, he can't hear me. Gene Hackman. You fucker. Oh, God. Oh, no. It's just falling apart, man. It's just falling apart. Oh, no. It's all going to shit.
All right.
So it's Gene Hackman. It's Gene Hackman that plays the fucking conservative politician. So a lot of the humor comes from Gene Hackman as a conservative politician having dinner with his prospective in-laws, who are in fact a gay couple, one of whom is in drag as the straight half. After Nathan Lane determines there is no way in hell he could ever properly portray a straight man, he instead chooses to portray a straight woman. And so they have a lot of fun with that, with Gene Hackman, talking about conservative politics with a gay couple, one of whom is in drag, and he doesn't even know it. And it's a very fun, heartfelt comedy that, it coming out in 1996, was, of course, fairly pro-gay rights, and it is, to my knowledge, it is actually credited as one of the things that did have a big impact on Americans' view of homosexuality.
Ah.
But at the same time, it does do some stuff that might be perceived as offensive right nowadays. Nathan Lane and Hank Azaria both portray very, 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 very camp gay characters. Though in the case of Nathan Lane, I suppose it's probably more forgivable because he's actually gay, so... And it's probably one of the weirdest comedies I've ever seen, because Robin Lane... that would be his name if he married Nathan Lane, so...
I suppose so.
Robin Williams portrays the straight man, excuse the turn of phrase, to Nathan Lane's more comical individual. Because Robin Williams is gay, but he's still very fairly manly and all that. So it's very clear they had fun with that. Not only the idea of a straight man playing the straight man, but Robin Williams getting to play the straight man for once in his life. And I don't think he ever got to again.
Probably not.
And Robin Williams and Nathan Lane, of course, both. Okay. So yeah, it's a comedy, but Robin Williams, Nathan Lane, and Gene Hackman all certainly have no trouble showing off their dramatic chops. As I mentioned, there are a couple of really nice scenes between Robin Williams and Nathan Lane when they discuss their marriage and all that.
Right.
And this was, of course, before Robin Williams really made it big as a dramatic actor, right? Would this have been before Good Will Hunting? No, Good Will Hunting would have been 94, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so by then people would have already known Robin Williams was an incredible dramatic actor, but But it's a very fun comedy. It definitely plays with a lot of it. I like how there's one scene I heard of where Robin Williams at one point slips and falls. He fucking face plants as hard as possible. And it happens behind two characters as they're talking. And you're like, oh, that's a weird spot for a gag. No, Robin Williams actually slipped and ate shit during while they were taping the recording. But no one actually reacted to it. The two guys were too focused on the dialogue, and Robin himself was able to put himself back together afterwards. So you're like, oh, fuck it. Yeah, fuck it. Throw it in. Sure. Robin Williams' character just ate shit in the middle in the background. And the thing is, it really works because he's drinking he's getting drunk to deal with stress in that scene, so it works really well.
He's a phenomenal method actor. I just googled Good Will Hunting and it came out in 1998. 2 years before this movie.
All right. Oh, another thing I learned about that movie. Hank Azaria spends most of that movie about as close to naked as he can get. And you know who Hank Azaria is, right?
I actually do not. I probably know him, I just don't recognize his name.
He's a comedian who voices pretty much everybody in Simpsons.
Ah.
He voices Chief Wiggum. He voices both of Homer's friends. He voices Moe. Like, all those characters you can think of with that voice, that's him.
Right.
And yeah, he is in shockingly good shape for a voice actor for Simpsons. And you have to spend a lot of time staring at his ass cheeks, so you learn that very quickly. But overall, Birdcage is a very fun 90s comedy. It really feels like stoner comedies ruined comedy, you know?
Yeah. Because
it feels like we don't get anything like the Birdcage or the classic National Lampoon stuff or any of that anymore. Yeah, I also got to see a bit of Harlem Nights, which I don't know if you know what Harlem Nights is.
I don't.
It's a 1984 comedy movie starring Eddie Murphy, Red Fox, and Richard Pryor.
I see.
You want to talk about some old comedians that aren't big nowadays? You want to talk about some comedians that couldn't get work nowadays? Yeah. I didn't get to see enough of it for me to convey an opinion. I'll just say that, yeah, like, that's probably a movie I should finish because that's a pretty good lineup.
Eddie Murphy probably still has a few more Shrek sequels left.
Yeah, but it's Shrek. It's for kids.
I'm just saying, he's got job security.
Apparently adults would rather watch Seth Rogen smoke a fucking blunt and make another joke about penises.
Apparently so.
It's funny we just mentioned Simpsons because I'm about to make a fucking Sideshow Bob noise. Okay, so hey, I didn't play many video games. I played Red Dead a lot. I played Red Dead a fuck ton. I played a little bit of Total War. That doesn't shock anyone. Red Dead is still a lot of fun. Red Dead, you can really tell they fixed the physics engine. Because, did you ever eat shit and crash while on your horse in Red Dead 1?
I believe so.
So, in Red Dead 1, I feel like I definitely remember John had a good chance he was probably going to stick to the horse even when the horse crashed. And the horse wouldn't really crash that hard. That doesn't happen anymore. While I was playing Red Dead 2, I accidentally drove my horse off the side of a cliff. Which, that's the... You never think about the nice part of having a donkey, but a donkey ain't gonna accidentally commit suicide like a horse would. And I accidentally drove off the side of the... And the horse... First thing the horse does, the horse goes head over heels. And where in previous games... The ragdoll for Arthur would go with him, and so Arthur would turn head over heels. Now instead, Arthur gets launched by the horse turning head over heels, and Arthur just goes flying about 10 feet and face plants as hard as he can on the fucking dirt. And I love the physics system now because every single fucking wipeout you get is brutal as hell, and it's hilarious.
Nice.
You're stuck perfectly between cringing and laughing. It also got rid of a lot of the annoying shit of Red Dead that I forgot to mention last week, but you remember how in Red Dead you couldn't have your gun out for too long or else John would auto-holster it?
Right.
Yeah, that doesn't exist anymore. If Arthur just wants to stroll around with his gun out at all times, you're perfectly welcome to do that.
Oh, nice.
Which is an absolute necessity because now that left trigger is devoted to the dialogue system, that means you can no longer use left trigger to just whip out your gun in the middle of no matter what you're doing.
Right.
Admittedly, it does make it a little bit more difficult to do, the classic Western bit of whipping out your gun and killing everybody in the room in under a second, but, you can get as close a fast assembly with it with the Deadeye system as you can. The cast is still a lot of fun. So they introduced one chick, Sadie, and, oh man, I forgot you're going to actually play Red Dead 2. I don't want to spoil this for you. But
I don't mind if you really want to.
No. We'll talk about it once you actually get to it, because the way they handle Sadie going from housewife to cowgirl is really funny.
Alright.
But I'm still really interested to see how Red Dead Online handles everything. And so far, we've heard very little. The only thing we've heard is, oh yeah, you'll be able to buy property, which, no shit. I can buy a house! Hot damn, GTA Online never thought of this!
Can you buy a tent, though? That's what I want to know.
I think you can, because there is there's a trophy for Red Dead Online, because you can already see the Red Dead Online trophies, and one of them is, upgrade your campsite. So I assume, yeah, you can get a tent. You can probably get more than a tent.
Can you get it like a wigwam?
I feel like that's definitely not a thing at launch, but I feel like that could be a thing. Considering how GTA 5 had, the Lowrider update, the big business update, I feel like Red Dead Online, we're probably going to get, the Apache update, so on and so forth.
Yeah, they've already got their lineup of stuff that they're going to release eventually, but they're going to space it out.
Yeah, and I'm wondering, how are they going to implement the crazy, stupid, expensive cars, right?
Right.
Because they can implement the crazy, stupid, expensive sports horses, but people aren't going to be as enticed by that.
Yeah.
So I'm
People
wondering,
aren't going to be as enticed if those things can die on you, right?
in single player they can die. In multiplayer, I have a strong feeling that they're going to go back to the Red Dead 1 system where the horse will die, but if you whistle, a new one will appear out of the ether.
Straight out of hell.
Hey man, you didn't play Undead Nightmare. You could actually get a demon horse that left a trail of fire behind. You do realize that, right? You could get
I had no idea.
You could get the fucking Carter Slade Ghost Rider horse if you wanted to. It was awesome. But yes, I am curious about that. Like, they have introduced, though, the first Red Dead, horses and occasionally wagons were the only means of getting around, right? And occasionally a stagecoach if you could get one. You can now drive trains and paddle in paddle boats. We'll see what they can do with boats, but I have a strong feeling at some point they're going to be selling pimped out trains.
Right.
Because I could see them selling, like, a military train that's all covered in fucking armor and shit.
Right, and it has cannons on the side like a pirate ship.
Cannons and miniguns, yeah. Because Gatling guns did technically exist. I can see them definitely trying to sell Gatling guns.
Absolutely.
Because GTA 5, they sold miniguns.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. You know what dawns on me? Red Dead 1, you started off with a shitty little donkey in online. You didn't get a horse immediate in online. You get a donkey at first. And eventually you upgrade to a very sickly horse that is very clearly dying. Then to a horse. You go through various different kinds of horses. And I think by the end of the game, you can ride a unicorn or a bull. And maybe that's where they're going with this. Maybe you can just get different kinds of animal.
Perfect.
Maybe we'll have fucking cowboys, like one's riding on a bull, one's riding on a fucking wolf, one's riding on a cheetah or something.
Special import.
Because they already got the cougars in the game. There's already cougars in the mountains that'll fucking eat your ass. Boy, Red Dead 1, did you ever get to the parts where there were cougars?
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you enjoy getting one shot by something out of the blue?
It's terrible.
Still there. So you learn not to walk around just through the forest yourself unless you've got the shotgun open and ready.
Right. They had the cougars in GTA 5 too. It was a rarity though, but they did have them.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure they did one-shot you in that game as well, because I seem to recall getting killed like immediately and having no idea what had happened.
Yep, it always happened on the mountains. It always happened on Mount Chiliad.
Right.
It's part of why I refused to go up Mount Chiliad in single player, was because there's always fucking cougars up there. Like, they got me twice, but I've seen, like, hikers get hit by cougars in GTA 5, like, 6 times. I think once I saw a clip where the fucking cougar ran into one of the convenience stores and killed the clerk.
It's like, yes, well done, accomplice. Now let me go take whatever was in the register.
Oh, no, wait, don't eat me, don't eat me.
I'll split it 50-50, please.
Do you realize how many cat treats you can buy with this? Yeah. It's probably going to be a lot of fun with Red Dead Online, especially if we can just set up a private server and tell everybody else to fuck off.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, at this point, if we're looking at probably 6 people, which is an absurd amount.
There's a very decent chunk of farmers that play or will play this game. So a lot to look forward to if we get everybody on the same platform and in a decent time when we all can play together.
Yeah, and imagine a fucking train heist of that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, hey, we got a small army of cowboys on horses following us. Unfortunately, I've not finished Red Dead Online story mode yet, so I won't be able to talk too much about that. I will say the story it's generally doing pretty good at avoiding the usual Rockstar notes. Like, you've played enough Rockstar games to know, Rockstar tends to go back to the same old wells a lot.
Right.
So there are a couple. Like, I've noticed there's a definite rider on the party, right? Like, Ryder is the iconic example of it in Rockstar, but every Rockstar game has the one guy who acts like your friend at the start. And the main character's like, nah, fuck you. And they spend like the first 10 missions being antagonistic towards each other, and it's like, this is the most obvious case of betrayal ever. Then he betrays you, and your character's like, what? I never expected this. Like, you've been telling this guy straight to his face for, like, the last 10 missions that you think he's the dumbest son of a bitch on this fucking planet. And you're surprised when he doesn't like you. Every fucking Rockstar game. And, like, Red Dead 2 very clearly has a Ryder character. And, yeah, that's unfortunate. Rockstar also suffers from the kind of thing where sometimes they don't really understand how to make a character properly middling. They don't really understand how to make a character between good and bad.
Right.
Like, the handling of Dutch, the leader of the gang right now, is kind of poor because they want to make it so it's clear that the main character loves him as a father, but at the same time, he thinks that he's slowly losing it. As they're portraying it in the game, Dutch seems like he's very clearly... Like, it is exceedingly obvious Dutch is going to lose it sooner rather than later. And that Dutch is utterly unrepentant about it. So it becomes a kind of situation where it reminds me of what you guys always complained about with Franklin and Lamar. Where you guys always complained, why does Franklin hang out with Lamar when it's easy to see from a mile away that Lamar just brings trouble? Like, it's in the same spot where you feel unsympathetic towards Arthur when he's talking about Dutch, because it's easy to see from a mile away that Dutch is just an explosive waiting to happen.
Right.
Which, I mean, is the same thing with GTA 5 with Michael and his kids, because Michael and his kids are a fucking problem. And Michael bitches about them, but it's very clear that it's Michael's own fault that his kids are that way. And it's like, Like, I mean, a character can have flaws by all means, but when a character's whiny about said flaws, that makes them unsympathetic.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's always the thing that I don't think either Rockstar doesn't understand it or Rockstar's deliberately invoking it. Like, I notice with the more Rockstar games I play, there's a noticeable thing to every Rockstar game where it feels like they're trying, sometimes they make things They make things shit to try and convey that they think the world sucks. Do you understand what I'm saying here? Like, Rockstar has a very... I don't want to say nihilistic because that's not the proper word, but Rockstar is always trying to portray the real world sucks. It sucks. It's full of shitty people who are shitty people that do shitty things. And sometimes it feels like they intentionally fuck up certain things and make things feel terrible to play or to watch or to listen to, or make certain characters deliberately unsympathetic to convey that the world is shit and full of shitty people who do shitty things.
Yeah.
Which has always been probably the trait of Rockstars I've been the most opposed to, firmly.
Yeah.
For various reasons that I won't talk about now, because, you know, inevitably some of them are personal and some of them are political and what have you. Because that's like a grand philosophical worldview right there, you know? But, yeah. Other than that, I don't think I did. Oh, well, I had to call the bank, which was fun.
Yeah, that's always fun.
So, they didn't actually fix anything. Turned out...
How does that work?
Yeah, it turns out my old PIN number, which obviously I'm not going to say out loud, but my old PIN number evidently does not work with... They didn't like it. They said the system didn't like it, and that's all they said to me. And I was like, that makes no sense. How could it not like a PIN number? And I'm like, okay. I tried to get all the information fixed up. I tried to set up new information, and it went nowheres, and I got busy, and I had to hang up, and I have not been able to call yet. But yeah, how about that for a bit of fun things to do during the week? Dealing with fucking corporate bureaucrats that don't understand their own system. Alright, folks. That is episode number 48. Say bye, Addy. Oh, shit.
Addy's gone.
He'll be back to say bye next week. Later, folks.